the meat choices is way more limited. You have like all the important stuff. You have beef, marinated pork, you have duck, octopus, and you have shrimp. All the things that you need. They put on coal. It's slightly bad there. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Refresh Step, where you cover yourself for the main step. I'm your host for today, tomorrow, and the foreseeable future, Theodore Lu. And I'm with the hottest battler in the UK and admin of the Battle Spirits English Wiki, Ayumu Seiki.
Hello.
Yeah. So yeah, I just realized that all this time I have been suppressing Ayumu. You have been suppressed, you have been oppressed and everything. So yeah, hopefully this time the audio will be a little bit more level. If it still didn't work, just let us know. Might miss that in the post-production, but yeah.
Fix it in post.
We'll try to fix it in post, because like last time I was like, I have this nifty plugin that Audacity said it will be leveling the loudness on our speeches. I tried to apply it and it almost crashes my computer twice. And yeah, it's all in all, like sometimes when we are both like very excited, then yeah, it sounds kind of okay, like we're kind of on the same level. But like once we are a bit calmer, then like you sound like very quiet. I was like, this is not what I was promised. When I give you this computing power, I expect you, the robot, to actually do the computing for me. God damn it, robots. But yeah, one day we'll get it right. I said that after this is going to be our 162nd episode.
Nice.
Yeah, or even more actually. Now that I say that, I actually lost track. Okay, let's see. I have episode 163. So okay, so I actually lost track of everything. So this episode will be the 164th episode. So yeah, good job, me. Good job. But yeah, this is not the thing that we are going to celebrate today, because just last Saturday we have a very monumental moment in Battle Spirits. That is the release of the 26 RBS01. Oh my god, that's an actual sad code. That was not a launch code for anything that is going to destroy the entire humanity. The booster set one for standard. The Pulse of Genesis. Yay!
Yay.
And it was a wild ride. Because like we started it pretty strong, and then now basically if you get a chance to get the box, you basically try to open the box. Hopefully you open the Mermaidia Princess, then you'll basically win the game. Like the rest of the opening can be shit. But now basically whether your box can win or not kind of depends on whether you pull a Valdigeyer or not. And all this time I thought Valdigeyer's name was Valgaya. I did not know. How did I miss that one important katakana all this time? It's two katakana even. So like I missed two whole letters all this time. And that proves that trading card game players cannot trade. Yes. And even last weekend we have a collab extreme battle in the PS Battle Club. So yeah, if you want to join us in playing various battle spirits in both Eternal and Standard, do join the Battle Spirit Battle Club in the link in the description below. Yeah, that's basically like the only time where me and Ayumu will be able to play Battle Spirits. Yep.
Well, for you, yes, we got a
Probably.
UK gang.
Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
I know, right? And I'm still waiting for my standard stuff, so like hopefully I can join the tournament on time. Yeah, one day they will be delivered here. They have been like they've sent yeah, I mean like my friend have sent me some boxes, so yeah, hopefully they will be here soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, unfortunately now, yeah, it says but actually, like it feels a little bit sad at face value. But like on the other hand, if you flip the script a little bit, this is actually like a very good chance if you wanted to get into standard, because like everything is very affordable right now. Unless you want to build like the red clash deck, then you're actually like going to spend a little bit more. But like if you want to build literally everything else, everything is very affordable. Time to get in battle spirits in standard. Yippee. Yeah, because like I think like I thought like I was going to spend like a little bit more, and then like I was like, yeah, I'm going to wait until Amamiya is also ready to order, and then like I check again, and then like, suddenly everything went down by half. Oh my goodness, I can now afford everything. Yay! And that's even worse, because like I put on like a certain amount of number, and that is for like the yellow stuff, and then like now I spend half, and then I got the blue stuff as well. So I was like, is this how economy works? Now we just chase for the Mermaidia Princess, and then like the rest is basically the bonus. Yeah. So basically, when my boxes come, I'll be very happy if we can draw the Mermaidia Princess. If we don't, then I will be very sad. Okay, wait. Actually, I just checked now. The most expensive card in Pulse of Genesis is actually. Wait. It's I sorted by low to high. It's wrong. So like right now, the most expensive one is actually the Secret for Valdigeyer, and the second one is Mermaidia Princess. The third
What's
one,
the first one?
Valdigeyer, the red one.
Wait, which red one? You mean the angel?
Oh, no, the red dragon over secret.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I still can't remember the names here.
Yeah. We will remember them in due time. And then the third one is the purple over secret. Followed by the blue one, and then the white one, and the most affordable over secret is actually the yellow one. This can't stand. I'm going to make it happen. Nah, I am not that good, so. Ooh. The secret portrait is actually in my price range.
Don't feel.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, if you okay. I thought the Panjang went up, and turns out I was like looking at the secret one. That's why it's more expensive than the price that I looked at yesterday. Oh, should I get the secret Panjang? Nah,
not worth it.
Yep, not worth it. Panjang is worth it, but not worth it enough to get a secret out of. One day, if we get the smaller panda and they name it Pandek, then I'm going to get the secret for Panjang. Just because it will be extremely funny.
Wow, why? What does it mean?
So Panjang is the Indonesian for long. So Pendek is the opposite, which is short.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, if they actually name the pandas like long and short, that will be absolutely hilarious, and I will buy them. Yeah, they have to be immortalized.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and speaking of Indonesia, there's a sad tangent that due to the recent Pokemon boom, like the recently like the customs were being a little bit more strict towards card products in general. So like lots of our products, not just Battle Spirit, like Battle Spirit, like thankfully they all came in time.
Mm-hmm.
But like some other card games like Duel Masters, they got delayed, I guess.
Right.
But like we always have delays randomly anyway. But I don't know if it actually like connected. But like recently there are people who shared online that they basically wanted to live in Indonesia, and then they got checked in the customs, and they were required to pay for tax, pay the tax for the tech, their private tech that they are going to use to compete in an international tournament, and that was kind of crazy. I guess like Indian, like the guy kind of showed that, okay, I'm going to go to this tournament, I'm going to use this. This is like the list, everything is here. And then like, yeah, they basically just let him go. But like, yeah, this is getting out of control.
Yeah, that's crazy to hear.
I know.
I would never expect something like this to happen one day.
Yeah. I guess like, yeah, Indian, yeah, I guess like also there's always like the discussion on like who to blame to this. Is it the scalpers, or is it like the content creation behind it that kind of focus on like, yeah, Pokemon card is the money maker right now. Well, not exactly that people are making like content that Pokemon is like the money maker, but like because money is kind of like the front and center into like the unboxing culture. It's kind of shaped, kind of like a sub culture where like people kind of wanted to open Pokemon stuff just to make profit, and then also like, yeah, some people are just trading cards for hopefully just eventually like selling them for more expensive, basically. Yeah. So like now our government is kind of like looking at it and from certain angles, kind of like from the taxation and the customs. Also, I think I told the story last week, but also the National Pawning Board or something. So basically, like like the pawn, but like owned by the government, the pawn shop, but yeah, pawn shop that is owned by the government. They also like kind of like offering that they accepted Pokemon cards as well. I was like,
damn.
I was like, and they even made a slogan out of it, like gotta pound them all. I was like, what is this reality? This is not real.
Gotta pawn that. What did she do that?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
No, right? Like if I found them, I'm going to send it to you like privately. But like it is so. I was like, did I wake up in the wrong universe today? I was like, it also like kind of put me off. Like if I were to go home, like I was planning to bring like lots of my pet decks that I wasn't able to bring to Germany previously, right? Like my Ra deck, my Mad Hatter deck. But now it feels like, okay, so if I wanted to go home, do I just leave my decks here, like build a whole new decks there, and then like basically I just have decks that I can use in Germany and decks that in Germany and Europe, and I will have decks that I can use in Asia pretty much. God damn it. Yeah, but that's the tension over, because that is not we are not here to talk about the craziness about of Pokemon in Indonesia anymore. We are here to talk about the Pulse of Genesis, because yeah, regardless of how the market went, Indian Pulse Spirit is a card game. It's it's a Japanese trading card game, so like Indian, like the price usually kind of like indicative, but not really of like how much the it is currently used by the players. Although it will not like indicate like directly. It is not proportional to like the how strong the card is, but like it can kind of like give you an idea of like how much confidence people have in these cards, basically. I was like, yeah, because like the demand is basically more into like how many people are using it versus like how much people want to collect this card in particular.
So what we're basing the tier on then?
So yeah, we are basically, the objective is of course like the powers, And the
Okay.
subjective one is like whether we like the art or not.
Sure. I think before that, it might be a good idea to identify what kind of decks we have right now.
Yeah. Okay,
So
let me load them up real quick. Or do we just see how the first weekend went basically?
you can show that one first.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, yeah, why not?
Okay. I can, yeah, actually I should have shared my screen to you as well. Why did I always forget that? But yeah. This is basically, again, this is kind of like the result of like the locals that we have like last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So this will not indicate like the total power of the deck itself. It's more into like, yeah, again, how much deck is winning. So this is statistic. Correlation doesn't mean causation.
Yeah, and then also it is a very small sample size right
Mm-mm.
now, with only a total of 49 winning decks
Mm-mm.
in this chart. So it may not mean a lot,
Mm-mm.
but it can be a reference, because especially since I think it's kind of following my own predictions as well, actually.
Mm-mm.
So like we've been saying that like green will probably be like the strongest deck,
Mm-mm.
and then like so you can see here how green is literally kind of like the top meta now with
Mm-mm.
35%.
Mm-mm.
You know, you don't really see that often in Battlespace in general, you know,
Mm-mm.
a deck taking up 30% of the pie chart.
Yeah, that's actually pretty crazy. The chunky
Yeah,
fish
the
is on the
chunk
top.
fish.
Who would have thought?
And then right after that, so like basically my concept would be in order to counter the armor fish,
Mm-mm.
you want something to control them.
Mm-mm.
Then that's where the red comes in, because armor fish in general has like relatively low BP,
Mm-mm.
you know, at least low enough for like red effects to actually like destroy them.
Mm-mm.
So then like you will see like how there's like this is the wind fangs, which is kind of specialized in BP destruction.
Mm-mm.
You know, so like basically being in second place because they're kind of like there to kind of like counter the armorfish.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and then well, to counter red, obviously then we have the white deck.
Yay!
More specifically, well, what we call Mineroid on
Mm-mm.
Wiki.
Yep.
So yeah, and basically because Mineroid. So obviously we do have like the amplify keyword, but like the thing with amplify is that like it only adds the BP during the battle,
Mm-mm.
which means outside of battle, like a lot of those spirits are still like very weak to BP destruction.
Yes.
But like for Mineroid on the other hand, they really focus more on the defense.
Mm-mm.
So the BP are generally higher, which also means it's rougher for the Windfang to actually deal with it.
Mm-mm.
And like that's probably would be one reason why it's basically right next to the Windfang,
Mm-mm.
because like it can like it's kind of like the best counter against Windfang,
Mm-mm.
and then in general it can be pretty good against Armorfish as well if you
Mm-mm.
manage to set up in the early game.
Yes.
Yeah, because if you get like if you just need to get like one or two chunky blockers, and like the Armorfish players, they can't really make too many attacks anyway.
Mm-mm.
So that's kind of like the triangle system you have there. Like obviously, if Armorfish is fast enough, then like it can like just counter like we just win against like both of the other decks.
Mm-mm.
Which is like where you can see the triangle here basically.
Mm-mm.
And then obviously, you got the rest going on there behind. Got Thunder Dragon, you got
Yeah.
Clash Classic,
Yep.
you got Shamanism,
Mm-mm.
summoning spirits from the trash. You got like Purple Core Control basically,
Mm-mm.
which we call Blood Rouse in
Mm-mm.
Wiki. And then we have Leucomist,
Mm-mm.
which is basically amplified deck.
Mm-mm.
And then finally we got Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then red rest.
Yeah, and then the rest. And you can see like there will be some decks missing here because like honestly a lot of them are just like not really worth playing right now, and I also agree with that. But obviously we can get to that when we like try to rank the X rares.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the general idea of like how the meta is right now, and then obviously, at least I will like comment based on the meta.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Also, this kind of gives the idea that how much extra that we'll be looking at today. But yeah, of course, like with Battle Spirits, it's not always a singular kind of like meta, because like they really like to do this teasing thing where they kind of like, yeah, so this thing might not be as strong now, but like we'll see like in the next 1 to 2 sets. Suddenly they just release something and like, okay, so now this card is like the best thing ever. It's kind of like in BSS 0, like if you play Saga also, like you see like in BSS 01, it kind of like Alice is a solid choice, but still like it wouldn't be my first choice. Like in fact, like I don't think I even incorporated any extras at all for my yellow decks. I think like only in Michaela, only Michaela in last year, but like for my Fable piece, kind of like, yeah, whether Behemoth is there or not, it's kind of like doesn't really impact my gameplay as much. It's more into like, yeah. But like then you get into like the next sets, and then like now suddenly Alice has more chance to be played. Behemoth not as much, but like yeah, then you can kind of like see the shifts when the card pool like increases. So like our evaluation now is kind of like what we with what we know so far, and also a note that I still waiting for my stuff, so I might be a little bit biased. So I will be, my judgment will probably be more into like, okay, so like how do I see like myself like seeing this using this now, as opposed to like, okay, like will I be using this a little bit in BSS 0 BSS 0 why do I say BSS, like the BS02 basically.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really think about that because
Yeah.
like we don't know what's coming up next, so we can only like rank it based on what we know now.
Exactly. Okay, so now that we get that all out of the way, yeah, we might, okay. So basically, with that, just know that if we like rank things like higher in the next set, that's not because we changed our mind completely and we were wrong now. I mean, like in the end, it's just a snapshot of our opinion now. So like it might change in the future, especially with more card pulls. Yeah, things can change a lot.
And then obviously you can disagree with us as well.
Yeah, if you disagree with us, as always, the place is in the comments, or you can send us a whole angry email as well, I guess.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess I will change the display a little bit so it will be a little bit more comfortable for you guys to look at. So yeah, now we have like all the 16 extras. Ayumu have.
You mean 18?
Oh yeah, 18. Yeah, that's a half the amount of extras though. Like after like we see some people opening like the cartons, it was very brutal, because like if you open like one box, also like why I say that now you kind of just wanted to hope that you get like the Mermaidia Princess over Secret, or like the Valdigeyer over Secret now, I guess. But like basically it's because in one box of like 14 booster packs, you get, wait, is it 14 or 18? I forgot. I suddenly lost memories. But yeah, basically,
I actually don't know.
yeah, basically while I confirmed that, yeah, basically you, in one box you get 4 extras, you get 2 secrets, but like randomly, so it's not guaranteed to be like the extra secrets. It can be a secret of any cards. Yeah, so that's the catch. So you basically have a chance to get an extra copy of your extra, but there's also the catch that, yeah, it might not even be the stuff that you needed, basically. Okay, so
And then I also heard that like in one carton you basically can only like barely have like full play set of all the extras.
oh yeah, that's the worst part. Like some people opening cartons, like they get like only 2 copies of like a certain extra. It's like they get a playset of everything else, but like that one type they only get like 2 copies. So I was like, huh? How did
That's
they?
crazy.
Yeah. How did they allow this to happen? Yeah. So and you get 14 boxes in a case as well. Like basically, you have a pretty slim chance to get everything that you needed. So basically, again, if you wanted to open it for fun, open it for fun. But like if you wanted to complete your deck, I think like this is a very good chance for you to get a singles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting singles is always better.
Yeah, it's always the chase with the booster packs. Like if you don't want to chase things, then yeah, just stick with the good old singles, I guess. But yeah, basically you have 18, but also like some of them like can be pretty disadvantaged because like especially with yellow, it's always a puzzle deck. So yeah, going to be very steep. But yeah, anyway, first of all, we have the Red Witch Celestial, which is the searcher for the Clash deck basically.
Yeah.
Which
So
is also very pretty. I guess we kind of have to take that into account, shouldn't we? Because we are who we are.
yeah. So for those who are only listening and not watching, like on Google, we are using the tier maker website where we have the ranking S, A, B, C, and D. And then we will also obviously we will also describe each card that we're talking about just for you to easily understand.
Yeah.
So what's the first one we have again?
Lestiel.
Restiel,
Yeah.
yes. So obviously we're going in the color order: red, purple, green, white, yellow, and blue. First 6 rare, Restiel, cost 5 red, 3 red reduction. You got the unsummon. You can open top 3 cards of the deck, add 1 spirit card with Clash to hand, returning the rest to bottom. And then it has True Release at level 2 during your attack step. Flash effect. If your spirit with Clash is attacking, you can exhaust the spirit. If you do, select one opposing spirit during this battle. That spirit must block if possible, even exhausted state. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say like yeah. I mean like the searcher is definitely very strong, especially since they kind of wanted to move the searcher a little bit on a higher cost than this in standard. Like previously, it is a role that is held by the cost 3, but I guess it is our reality now that the searchers, the drawers, they are going to be cost 5.
And I think the most interesting part as well is like with how naturally like standard format is so slow right now as well. Like the search actually isn't even that impactful. Like it lets you look through look like 3 cards further. But like when it's still only adding 1 card in comparison to Eternal, this is like nothing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But I suppose that on the other hand, if this effect is on a cost 3, then yeah, that can be pretty broken in standard.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
Especially since they're lacking draws right now, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I guess like that's also another thing with I mean like in it's red, right? Like you have like a lot of spirit with clash. So I feel like still like you have a lot of target to go through. So I guess but yeah, again the second effect is a nice bonus. It kind of gives you a pseudo target attack, but but also like you have to rest here as well, so you kind of spend 2 cards in order to remove 1.
Yeah, but I think at the end it depends on what you need. Because like if you've been playing Battle Spirit Saga, then you will know that how the Pterosaur deck is pretty weak to white aggro and green aggro. You know, especially back when somehow people actually make ant tokens work. So then like you have green aggro just like rushing through like the Pterosaur deck. And you know that's mainly because Clash's deck is a temple deck. You know, so like so what temples means is that like it basically attacks to gain control, which is like slightly different to control decks where like they are all very reactive
Mm-mm.
to like what the opponent does.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So so for Clash, the way they control is obviously to make the opponent block.
Mm-mm.
To make them block, to make them lose their spirits, and then like kind of dissolve the field on that way.
Mm-mm.
But if the opponent is also attacking, if they're also attacking faster than you, how are you gonna dissolve that board?
Mm-mm.
So like, and like that's like one of the biggest weakness for Clash
Mm-mm.
in general,
Mm-mm.
I would say. So like having like an effect, uh, having an effect to like allow the not really allow to make the opposing exhausted spirit to block is actually really good for Clash.
Mm-mm.
Because this means like even if they are also more aggressive, you can still control them that way.
Mm-mm.
Like they cannot avoid you controlling the ball by attacking, like something like that. And then also like as far as I see, even in standard, like even for like armorfish,
Mm-mm.
when I say aggro, but then like they only have like what at most like 3 spirits on the board.
Mm-mm.
So what it means as well is like the way you can how do I say this? You know, the way you can deal with armorfish as a clash deck is that you play the control style, and then if they ever attack,
Mm-mm.
then you can also use like Restiel to force them to block.
Mm-mm.
To force them to block, and then like you know like do the control from there basically.
Mm-mm.
So you know as we have just seen like the pie chart, like Clash isn't too high up
Mm-mm.
on the list,
Mm-mm.
on like the meta list, but as an individual card, I would say it's like you know Lestiel, I
Yeah,
can't
let's still,
remember.
yeah.
Lestiel
Yeah.
basically has like kind of like everything you need, especially since like the level 2 effect is like it can be activated at true release as well. It means you just
Yeah.
need soak on it.
Mm-mm.
So like it's not a lot of core requirement, which is like obviously very important for red
Mm-mm.
because like they don't really have a lot of cores in general.
Yeah.
I would put that on S actually. It might be a bit too generous, but
Or maybe okay. And like we still have to we will eventually compare her with like the others. So maybe we'll put her in A first. I feel like
yeah,
I'm
maybe.
more inclined into B, but like I guess like yeah, I guess like
What would be your reason then?
yeah, I
Maybe
mean like
let's see.
yeah, I mean like again like it kind of like fills the hole in Clash, but like then again for like the most part still kind of like something that fills the hole is not really well. I mean, like it's still it has for me like the value is still more on the search, but like as when you put that like drawing is probably a little bit drawing early is probably more stronger than a little and then a mid game search, then maybe it will be a little bit lower, but so something on a B level.
I think
But like
what's also good with it as
yeah.
well is that it can replace itself,
Mm-hmm.
especially since it has a search effect.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I see it is more of like in terms of net gain as
Mm-hmm.
well,
Ah yeah yeah.
because like that concept is also very important,
Mm-hmm.
especially I mean for card games in general, but like especially important now for like the standard format.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like you know you have when you summon her, obviously you're -1 in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
but because she has a search effect, then like it kind of like um you know denies that and it just like goes to net gain 0
Mm-hmm.
instead of -1.
Yeah.
And then like the way you can count as well is because she becomes a spirit on the board, so technically that's a +1.
Mm-hmm.
So like that would be how I see it.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean like again, I mean also like her level 2 effect is again something that closes the gap, right? Like so you still need the spirit with clash, which you can get
Mm.
from her effect, and also like you can have prior in the board, but like still like basically like if she is like on her own, and then like you open 3, and then like it happens to be all of your non-clash, then it can
Fair
be
enough.
yeah, it can be a little bit uh iffy.
Yeah,
but
suppose
like, I
the
mean, like,
downside is she can't do anything on her own.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess like we'll put her on B first. We'll see like if everything is like we have too much below B, then we'll put her up and we'll
Lama.
adjust as we go. We are part of democratic society, so we'll see as we go. If things get a little bit too awry.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have the next one, which is the sex something something Carneliath.
Yeah, the SixVermilion
Ah,
Carneliath.
Carneliath.
Yeah.
It's a 6 cost with 3 reduction and a very simple on summon effect that destroys 2 opposing spirits with 3000 or lower PP or 1 opposing spirit with 5000 or lower PP.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's a mid
You
game
still,
control.
yeah, you still remember Andromeda from
Oh
Saga?
yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
I would say they basically have the same value there.
Oh my god, yeah. Still recovering from the PTSD. Like, yeah, I mean, like,
Lama.
if we compare to Andromeda, then it's can basically like rank pretty high just by the virtue of like, okay, I mean, like, yeah, the card and it's on its own may not be maybe have like limited uses in a way, because like unlike Andromeda that can kind of extend to the late game because of it has confront as well. It has it has the option to destroy Nexus. I feel like this one, at the very least, it does have the merit that it can kind of stand on its own. I mean, like, if you, even on like the later games, like sometimes the game can be pretty close that you pressure them enough that they needed to pressure you back, and the best defense that they might be able to pull off is like a level 1 vanilla. Like, I guess that can be something that to account for.
Mm, yeah, but like to be fair though, like I think literally for Carnelia's, like literally the only useful part is the summon effect. Because as a 6 cost,
Oh yeah,
I don't think the BP is especially high either,
yeah.
actually. I think. I don't know.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe time to open the database. Stop lagging. Oh my god.
Nah, but you got a pointer. I mean, like, yeah, at 6 cost, yeah, then also like the level 2, you need to put 3 cores on it to get it to 7000, which, yeah.
3 cost is fine. I mean, that's like the normal ref thing to do. Yeah, because like for red, I mean, it depends on how you see it, because like for red, like 6 cost maximum 7000 sounds about right. Like you can argue like there's like a 5 minus 3 that's 7000 at level 2 as well, with 3 cores. Yeah, so but like it depends on how you see it, but I think like the value still goes into like the summon effect. You know, the fact that you can destroy 2, 3000 or less, which means you can like use it to deal with aggro, or like destroy just like one of the higher BP ones. It's like a really decent card, I would say. Like, I think like the most important part as well is that like it can actually destroy another copy of itself if they stay at level 1. Which means like this is also like a really useful card in like a mirror game. I guess you can see it that way. Yeah.
Alright, you got the pointer.
Yeah, so like arguably you can say this is like slightly more useful than Restiel, yeah, because like it's definitely a card that can function on its own. Because like instead of like requiring yourself to have a board, it requires what the opponent has. But like it works. I think it works perfectly fine, because like, with like the BP destruction effect at the current stage of the game, you're expected to use it in like a red control deck, which as I said, control in general is very reactive. So it just depends on what your opponent is doing. So like it's one of those cases where like Yeah, like if your opponent doesn't have anything, then it's useless. But then like you will also feel safer to have it in your hand. That kind of thing, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of those cards where like you wait till your opponent do something and then you summon it.
Mm-mm.
Kinda. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically instruction magic with the body.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
literally. Yeah.
If Carneliath is slightly better than Restiel, then we have the choice whether to put it as our first A tier or basically like at the top of B tier for now.
I would say that's actually honestly a really hard question. I would say just put on A. I think
Okay.
it's actually really decent. Like it's one I think so the way I would see it is like for less TL,
Mm-mm.
one thing is that you really only use her in the clash deck.
Mm-mm.
But for Canaria, Canaria?
Yeah,
What?
Canaria.
Canaria, yeah. Okay,
Canarias.
Canarius, yeah,
Yeah.
Canarius. You can actually use it in any red decks until it get powercraft.
Yeah.
So like I think that's one thing to consider as well.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a generic red tech card basically.
Mm-mm. Yeah, no, that's a very fair observation. Okay, then I guess that
So,
will be
so I
our
think
first.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I think putting A is fair.
Yeah. Finally, we have an A tier card. But we'll save
You
then.
say finally when that's like the second card.
I know, right? But like, yeah. We also have like the sec if everyone's favorite dragon because this is also like the most expensive extra in the set currently, as
Mhm.
of the recording of this podcast, which is the Valdigeyer. Yippee!
Yeah, it reminds me of Vanguard so much.
Is it by Toshiaki Takaya Toshiaki? I forgot. Don't know why. It's GIF.
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I
I
feel
can't
like
read the name.
I know. I'm thinking it's not his Toshiaki Takayama will write his name in the katakana, so I don't think it's him.
Oh no, this is just Adachi Yosuke.
Ah, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We forgot about the God of Battle Spirits. Because if you don't know, lots of like the iconic Battle Spirits cards are drawn by Adachi Sensei. That's why it's also actually a treat that we get like the first extra drawn by him as well. Well, the first extra to represent red. Because like basically Valdigaia is basically the current face of standard Battle Spirits, pretty much in the promotion
Yeah.
materials. Yeah. For us, it's Restiel. For them, it's Valdigaia. So yeah, it's a simple 7 cost with like legacy. At level 1 7,000, it has clash, and then it has true release at 4 cores or your soul core, making it a 10k. And if it is blocked by spirit with 5,000 or lower PP while it is attacking, the spirit can refresh.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I missed that. Do you say it has legacy?
Legacy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it got true release as well. So
Mm-mm.
so that's literally all the main mechanics you have in one
Oh
card.
yeah. That's why it's the
Um,
face of battle spirits.
maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's yeah. BP is fairly decent. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you can go to 10k with just a soul core.
Mm-mm.
It's classic Kalash.
Mm-mm.
Like honestly, I'm a bit iffy with the level 2 effect though,
Mm-mm.
cause like by the point you can summon this,
Mm-mm.
or well, when you want to summon it, um, like the opponents might just have like, you know, more spirits that are like over 5,000 BP.
Mm-mm.
So like if they can't go for it, they just block with that one, and like you stop refreshing basically.
Yeah. That's also kind of where
Oh,
Lestiel kind of shines, I guess.
not really, because the thing is with Lestiel, like the problem is like her effect is during this battle that spirit can block even while exhausted.
Mm-mm.
So it's more like you need to make sure that's the only target that can block.
But isn't it forcing?
No, it's not forcing it. It's just saying that it can block while exhausted, and then you use
Oh.
craft to force it.
Oh.
So like if the opponent has other refresh spirits, then like it wouldn't matter anyway, because like if they want to choose to block with the other ones, they can.
Rip.
You know. Yeah, rip indeed actually, yeah. I suppose that's why Lestie is in the B tier.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. She even got the waifu buff. Ooh. Oh no, the face of metal spirits. But I guess like yeah, I mean like now that you say that, oof, it's kind of hard. Like we kind of need to compare it with their other class spirits, I guess, to kind of like get an idea of like the PP range that they can reach. Yeah, I guess that's
Oh no, I mean I don't doubt the BP range. Like 10k is actually really decent because like when you think like, because even in white, let's say without any additional effects, let's just say like each card, because obviously you can argue that you can go as high as you want if you have other effects as well. But you know, in general, even like kind of the highest BP of white spirit you have is like, actually no, the highest BP is in white. Actually, it's like blue, I think.
I think around 11 or 13. Either
Yeah,
the
11.
11 or
So
like the
it's like
giant
I saw
golem.
like the third. I saw 13. I'm not sure. Yeah, 14. So highest you can go is like 14k, which is like the blue elephants from the starter deck.
Oh.
Yeah, so like you know those ones it might be tougher, but like honestly, you shouldn't worry about that because like they'll most likely be using that to attack anyway. So like maybe like realistically, let's say like I think the range is around like 11k. I would say, you know, for example, like the white turtle
Oh,
in
yeah.
like the white starter deck. Like so, and then 11k, you know, it's nothing. You literally got a nest which just gives it 2k on attack or something like that. You know, or well, during the attack step, give it 2k something like that anyway. You know, so like reaching like over 10k is not hard. And then like you know it's definitely a very good range when like you know even for like the other decks, like we're talking about at least like for the ones that are going to block, you know, we're talking about like only like 11k to 12k.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Huh. So, so it is still a very good card to kind of like remove your opposing board. It's just that yeah, the level 2 effect, like it's already like quote unquote like hard enough because like you kind of need your opponent to have something to block with in the first place, or can have to have Restiel by his side. So like the limitation feels a little bit harsh, but on the other hand, it's also like doesn't feel right that it can just outright like clean the opposing board just by existing. Because like I guess like
Yeah.
by the time you fail to block the first attack, then yeah, there's no chance that you're going to block the next ones, right?
Yeah. But I think on the other hand though, like the good thing is like, so like cause like what I'm thinking as well is like, okay, yeah, 7-4 looks like it's very hard to push out, but then like you gotta remember it has legacy.
Yeah.
So I suppose like the other question is like how many EX symbols can you actually stack? Like and like how quickly can you do that? I'm by using my own list as a reference is when I look at it, it's like it really depends actually. Because well, obviously most of the EX symbols come from like the magic. You got obviously got Flame Hurricane, you got Break Claw, in which like both. So like Flame Hurricane is pretty doable. So like it really depends on your game plan. Like if you want, say you wanna, cause like Flame Hurricane, I would say like it's more like safe for like late game or mid game where like you know you want to save it for something that's like really high BP or something like that. But obviously you can also use it early game just to stack the EX symbols. Same with Brick Claw, which like you may argue that if they don't have any necesses, then like you know your the main effect is kind of like useless. But then like we're at the very early stage of Battle Spirits, well standard anyway, where like BP comparison still matters a lot.
Yes.
So like even like the flash effect plus 2000, you'll be surprised at like how many times you actually have to use it. Actually. You know, so it's like I suppose like if you're running like a higher amount of energy or like energy of like magic, and then like you manage to use them early on as well, then like this Valdigeyer is like would actually be really good because it means you can push it out really early. Like talk about maybe like well early by standard obviously, but like yeah. Um but like by like turn 3 or 4 you can like push it out and just like start pressuring them. Which is like definitely like a good thing. It is definitely matchup dependent though, because like for example, obviously in against purple, for example, you don't really want to, nor do you really need to push it out that early, because like obviously remember that purple generally has lower BP, and then also like they will have like things like soul bite, which can remove cores no matter if it's the soul core or not. So that means you cannot leave too little cores on Valdigeyer. So it is really matchup dependent. Like generally it is a good card to have in the clash deck, but like the more I discuss about it, like you can argue that you might not even need it at one point. It really depends on how you want to build your deck, I would say.
That kind of make me wanted to make this stupid Valdigeyer less clash deck. But yeah, that is another story for another episode. But
Yeah.
I guess then now that you argue that actually like maybe it's kind of like an option rather than a must, and I guess we kind of have to give up the S tier for that one. So it's
I would say it's B.
Yeah, B. Will that be better or worse than less? Yeah, I guess like
I would say it's worse than that. I don't know. I would say it's around the same point.
Yeah.
Because like obviously less tier is decent in that it searches, but it's not a clash card herself. So you would need clash card like
Valdigeyer.
Valdigeyer, because like without them, then like your support cards are useless anyway. So they're kind of around the same level. They're just like at the different end of the spectrum.
But yeah, I guess then you can argue that even at the same level, then if you draw like when you're like desperate and you draw Valdigeyer, you can have more guarantee that it will do something compared to if you draw like Restiel.
True. Yeah.
So I guess then let's give the edge to Valdigeyer for now. Let's let him have the win over our waifu cards.
Lamau.
Okay, so next up we are in your territory, which is purple. Yay.
Yippee.
Yeah, we have Shi-Reizen. So our first purple extra, which is just like Restiel, although it is not directly a search, it kind of fills that space in which like you basically can open top 3 cards of your deck. You can just discard one of them to the trash, and then the rest goes to the bottom of your deck. And then with the true release, it has true release, of course. So it has when attack, you can force activate the shamanism of one of your spirit with shamanism. Yeah, pretty nifty. And yeah, as you know, the search of like standard, because of the existence of EX symbols, they don't want you to send cards to the trash willy-nilly, so that you cannot just abuse the search just to gather like the extra symbols basically.
Yes. So yeah, this one is actually interesting. Let me ask you, when do you think you will play this card? Like during which stage of the game?
Very early, I suppose.
No.
Is it?
I would actually say it's late game.
Interesting.
Yeah, so mid to late game. And because like I would say like the design of shamanism in general. I think I mentioned this last time, but like shamanism is basically like the temple deck where like you just keep attacking, and then if they get destroyed, then you use shamanism to bring them back, kind of thing. If you build your deck well, you should most of the time have targets in your trash for your shamanism. So like arguably the summon effect here is kind of pointless. Like you can argue that like, oh yeah, then like you can summon it early, and so like you can get more targets in the trash. But then like if you're doing that, why don't you just get more draws? I would argue, get more draws to draw into like some of the lower cost spirits. Because like if you want targets for shamanism, they're going to be low cost anyway. Because like unless you're playing the really high cost shamanism, most of them are something like cost 3 or less. Yeah. So like so like that's one point as well. A lot so for most shamanism targets, they are targeting cost 3 or less, so not even 4. So ShelledBeast isn't even within the target. Like that would be one thing to consider as well. Like so like in order to summon ShelledBeast from trash, you only have 2 choices. Either the dancing fox, Shalulu or obviously the mummy X-rare.
Yep. Babianaros.
Yeah, there we go.
That will
Yeah, the
go.
queen.
Queen
I don't remember.
Babianaros.
Yeah, I'll remember her being the queen. I don't actually remember the full name, but yeah.
Yeah. We have to respect the queen.
The queen.
Yeah.
But like yeah, the way.
No. I've had enough brain rot in our last in the last tournament. Yeah. Yeah. Now that gave me a lot way new perspective.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
I guess
so the thing is like, do you want to summon an early game? Well, what's the point then? Because like it's kind of the same as oh god, like I keep forgetting the names. The Red X-Rare.
Restiel.
Restiel, yeah, it's kind of the same as Restiel. It can't do anything by itself. And it's even worse than Restiel because at least Restiel can replace herself in terms of like one card in hand. ShelledBeast can't even. ShelledBeast can't even do that.
Yeah.
Because it's just choosing one card to discard, literally. So like that's kind of the problem with it. And the second problem is that purple in general is already very core greedy. And then especially with shamanism, the thing is that you also have to pay cost to summon the spirit from the trash. So that is a lot of cost. And considering that like the lowest cost of shamanism that you can do is what 4-2? I think it is. Yeah. So like you still paying minimum 2 cost. And then let's say you pay 1 cost for the target. Then there's 1 more cost to maintain on the target. And then if you want to activate it again, you gotta pay another 1 cost and then 1 more cost to maintain. And which is like a lot of cost.
Yeah.
Literally. I might be building it wrong. I might be building my deck wrong. I don't know. But like, I just feel like a lot of the time I don't really want to summon ShelledBeast. To be fair. Because like there's no point. Like I have enough target in my trash, and then I don't at that moment I don't have enough cause to actually summon anything. And then like also on the other hand is that like what was I gonna say? Like my spirit with shamanism, like I would not expect them to survive more than 1 turn. It depends on matchups. So like you can argue that this card is also like very matchup dependent. Like if you face against like for example red, then like yeah, they're probably not gonna survive for another turn. Like against yellow as well, blue to an extent, purple mirror, they might not survive there as well. So like yeah, it's really hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't really know how to rank this card, honestly. I just feel like it's really hard to use despite it being like 4-2. Because like it looks like it's a 2-card combo.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, it's a 3-card combo.
True. Because like yeah, again like if you need like if you like kinda break and then like suddenly you start with the Nexus, so you can kinda have ShelledBeast and the Spirit with Shamanism, and then you just need something that can be summoned by the shamanism, and you actually did that is like the last piece of the combo, and you open 3, and then like it's all cost 8, and it's like, wow, that is cost 8 soul bite. So I was like, that is outside of the plan.
Yeah, so like I honestly don't really like this card. To be fair, like I don't even know if I want to put him in the deck actually. Like maybe a one-off. Like two might be stretching a little bit, I would say. Like you might as well just play more targets for shamanism, or even like just like shamanism in general, you know. Yeah.
True. I guess like that's
Like,
a fair observation. I think like at least for now, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because like again, like even if we consider that the game kind of stretches and then like you draw this one card, like this literally does nothing.
yeah. Like honestly, this might be our first C tier card.
Yeah, because like in the end, it still has its niches, but like, yeah, I mean like if push come to shove, then it kind of didn't stand, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully our queen will do better because she will be up next. We have the Queen Babianaros, the first legacy spirit for legacy extra for purple in the booster set. She of course.
Darwin.
Oh no.
The queen, you know the way.
And you know what's where she has 3 followers depicted in this art as well. So like if you
Do you know the way?
Yeah, if you haven't voted whether you are one of which follower are you, then you can actually like still found the poll in our post, I guess.
Why are you making that kind of pose?
I don't know.
Why?
Because I was pretty sure you are going to choose the bottom one for some reason.
But what if I like choking?
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I don't. And
But yeah,
disclaimer: no, I don't.
No, anyway, Queen Babianaros, matching her name as the queen, she has shamanism of cost 5 or lower, so you can summon a specific spirit with cost 5 or lower, including Shi-Reizen, I guess. Or if Shi-Reizen doesn't have that family, then I am, then that confirms that I cannot read. Mostly also
No,
because
it does have the family. Don't worry.
Also, like because all the family names are new, so I did not recognize that kanji at all. Damn it, Bandai! Why do you have to make all new families? I could have read them previously, but now I can't. But also, like when she attacks, you can choose one opposing spirit that's cost 5 or lower, and for each of your spirit with shamanism, you send one card from that target to the reserve. So yeah, you send a minimum of 1 core, but what is important is that currently in the standard format, most of like the core removal effects kind of requires you to, it kind of limits you to not be able to send the soul core, which kind of like protects spirits with through release. So like this doesn't really give her like the edge as a control card, but in shamanism that is mostly not in the control factor, you can kind of like remove that one blocker that will annoy you with their through release shenanigans at the very least.
Yeah. So I think it's really interesting in that the way I would see it is that like obviously her main gimmick is shamanism. You know, cost 5 or less. That's actually enables quite a lot of stuff because like a lot of because what it means is that you can summon another card with shamanism and then you can chain summon it if you can, basically.
Yes.
Obviously, as you mentioned, Shi-Reizen is also one of the targets. So it can also be the case where you summon Shi-Reizen and then Shi-Reizen attacks and just activate Queen's shamanism again. So basically just gaining another body quite easily. But yeah, like the true release effect is also like pretty important. Because again, as you said, it can like remove cause remove spirits with the soul call. The only downside is that it's cost 5 or less, and obviously it depends on how many costs of shamanism you have. But I suppose in general, depending on the matchup, you probably just need maximum 3, which, let's be honest, is already hard enough to do. 3 spiritual shamanism on the field. I don't know how late game that is gonna be.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I would say in general you can probably like do like 2 calls. Like for example, like if you really want to use the effect, then like just with Queen's Shamanism, just summon something with Shamanism. You don't have to summon anything else. It's the summon effect is optional. So like yeah, I would say like you'll be expecting yourself to be removing 2 calls. I would say, yeah.
And I guess also like the other factor is even if someone like try to bring their spirit to level 2 with the normal course, they'll probably just put just enough. So like even if you can only remove 1 with Queen Babianaros, you can still get them down to level 1, which can be still pretty big because like if you make her level 2, then yeah, basically again even against Valdigeyer at level 1, Valdigeyer is at 7k. Like that is already something that Queen Babianaros can basically like clear. It can clear the Valdigeyer for like your smaller attacker then, which I think still make her like actually like so far I think like she's the best card that we have talked so far. I suppose, yeah. I mean like so far.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, well, in terms of art style, yeah, definitely the best one. Yeah, we all got a lot of sadistic queen. Am I right? Am I right, boys?
Yeah, I prefer the Mermaidia Princess, but I can see the fusion.
But like, I think the problem is that like shamanism as a deck in general is like pretty hard to use. But then again, that also just purple in general. So like if I had to rank like right now, in terms of like the hardest deck to use, I would say the top one is yellow, and then it's purple, and then it's blue, and then white, red, and then green is like the lowest one. Well, green is the easiest one to use basically. So it's like, so yeah, so like it really depends on how people manage to play with shamanism, I would say. Like personally, I would put it. I think it also comes down to how important of a card for its own deck as well. So it's definitely around B tier at least, because I think shamanism as a deck right now definitely needs Queen to be in there. Just for the fact that it's shamanism 5 or less. Which is already basically most of the targets in the deck, because like you shouldn't be besides Queen. So like I would say the 2 cards that are higher than cost 5 is basically Queen and Dancing Fox. Everything else should be cost 5 or less. You might be playing some cost 6, but personally I would disagree, because like you generally just want more spirits that can be easily summoned, especially since in purple right now, most of the cost 6 are 6 minus 3. It's a 6 minus 4, and it supports shamanism as well. So arguably that might be an option, but like like either way, my point is that like Queen can summon most targets in the deck, and that's what makes her really important.
Yeah.
And then also the other thing is that a lot of the cards, like in relation to shamanism in the deck, a lot of spirits don't actually have removal. So if we're talking about active removals, we have the Master Rare, Papilioni, which on attack and destroying a source that cost 3 or less spirit. And then that's literally it. Yeah, in terms of like active destruction,
Mm-mm.
active removal. Actually, I mean, we also have the cost 6, Performandus,
Mm-mm.
which is also a master rare, which can on summon remove any cause, but then like it's excluding soul core.
Mm-mm.
So that's kind of one of the downside where Queen is kind of covering.
Mm-mm.
And but like yeah, and then like the next card is basically Queen herself,
Yeah.
which on attack can just remove any kind of cause from like a cost 5 or less.
Mm-mm.
Um, so I would say Queen is definitely a must
Mm-mm.
for Shamanism. Maybe like 2 copies.
Mm-mm.
I definitely would not play free because that would just break, I would
Mm-mm.
say. Uh, yeah, and then like I suppose like I think the way they wanted to do it is like you basically as I said, like the main way to play shamanism is that like you just try to attack when you can,
Mm-mm.
and so like pressure the opponents into just like just stop blocking,
Mm-mm.
and then you remove the smaller spirits by
Mm-mm.
effect, and then force them to block with the higher ones.
Mm-mm.
So it's kind of like Clash, but like in a more indirect way, maybe. It's kind of like the way to see it.
Mm-mm.
Um, so like, yeah. So I think like in terms of that, well, the more I say, yeah, maybe Queen is like actually pretty good.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like again, like it kind of depends on like the rest of the deck still, but on her own, like when you draw her in like the later games, then she can basically like change a lot of the game because like you basically get another body, you can summon her for like cheaper with the legacy, and also like when she attacks, she can at least like make something lower level so that they can be a little bit more manageable to get through. I feel like
Mm.
she will probably not be as versatile as Carneliath, but I guess like at least an A, at least an A, or possibly our first S candidate. Also, she
No,
has a waifu buff.
Lamau. Um, I wouldn't say S. I
Mm-mm.
honestly wouldn't say S.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a card where I look at it like wow, so good, like that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. It's like one of those cards where like you definitely have to like kind of play around a little bit to like
Mm-mm.
understand a little bit more. I would say at most it's like A tier, just behind like Canarias,
Mm-mm.
maybe.
Fair enough. We can do that.
Yeah,
We can use the waifu buff as it as it's convenient for us now.
Lamau.
Yeah. So next up we have the Duke Dunpillion, which is our other legacy spirit, although it does have only 3 reduction at 8 costs. It does have it does have a very pretty nice effect in which you choose up to 3 opposing spirit, and you send 1 card each from them to the reserve. So again, another spirit that can remove cards from soul core from spirits, which kind of warrant why it costs so high. And also at level 2, when the spirit attacks, and it reduces the opposing life. And if you deplete any spirit with effects during this turn, the number of cards sent to the reserve is the number of cards sent is +1. So unfortunately, it doesn't have the true release, but I guess like if it does have the true release, it's going to be quite nasty.
Yeah, this like I think
Hmm.
well the biggest discussion is like what deck is going into.
Mm-mm.
So like it's not like Canarias where like obviously because like there's like literally barely no condition in its summon effect.
Mm-mm.
So that's why it can go to any red deck. So as
Yes.
long as like the BP inflation isn't going up,
Mm-mm.
Canarias can basically go to any red decks.
Mm-mm.
Especially since with red, no matter how you play,
Mm-mm.
you kind of need the BP destruction anyway.
Mm-mm.
Purple is different though.
Mm-mm.
Like as you can see with shamanism, yes, it will be good if you have some kind of removal,
Mm-mm.
but they don't always need to be.
Mm-mm.
Like purple is pretty much like especially with shamanism, it's pretty much like Clash, where like really just have to get high enough BP and just like bump,
Mm-mm.
like smash into them, stuff like that. So yeah, so like there's that. So like the problem with Duke is that obviously it's kind of like summon condition. Well, summon effect is very harsh, I would say. Like it's a very situational card,
Mm-mm.
you know, like but then it's also kind of contradicting itself. So so basically this card is only useful when your opponent is actually going really wide, and then you yeah, and then you manage to block that. Well, defend against that, not literally blocking in balance sense.
Yeah.
You manage to defend against that, and then what is it? And then you manage during your turn you manage to like summon Duke and then like wipe out 3 of their spirits, and then which at that point they have kind of like no other ways to recover, just because like they probably like spend their hand so much already. And so like that's basically the only situation where Duke would come in handy, I would say. So in other cases you need to combo them. So I'm getting a little bit off track. So like when I say like it's very situational, it's because like you want to bob white, but then it's 8 -3. So like you need. I mean, obviously there is legacy, but then like maybe still means you need a bit of setup to actually do something. But if your opponent is actually really that quick, what kind of setup can you really do? So like it's one of those cases where like it's one of those cases where like the opponent basically really put you down to like 1 life immediately, so you suddenly gain 4 calls for a turn, and then you manage to use it, kind of thing. So in the late game, that's when the opponent will have more calls to use, and that would be when they put more calls on their spirit. Even just putting 1 more call on their spirit, that's already make Duke pretty useless. Especially since like you're spending 5 calls to summon him, and then like you have it's not even a big body as well. Like, yeah, 8,000 is pretty high, but when you have something like red, like you got Valdigeyer, just need 1 soul call to be at 10k, and it's like, yeah, clash, now you have to block.
Yeah.
And then you literally just lose their cost expert just like that. And then like against perp, like in a mirror game, it's kind of useless as well, because like, okay, say you want it as a blocker, you don't want it to get removed, so at the very least you want to put the soak on it, but then you don't want to put the soak on it because it doesn't have true release. You want to save the soak for something else. So then like that's the awkward part where like, do you want to summon it? Well, what's the point then, because it's just going to get removed because you're not going to put the soak on it.
True.
And then like against green, like arguably green is the matchup where like this card is probably the most useful. But then green has call boost. They're not gonna just put 1 call on the spirit. Let's be honest. White,
yeah.
they're not going. Yeah, white, they're not going to attack. Like white, it really depends. If your opponent is the kind where like they really stretch their resources just to set up their board, then yeah, you can like do like a surprise summon and then just like clear their board just like that. But like I would say a good white player would not try to, especially when it's against purple. They're not gonna leave the spirit at 1 call. So like, yeah, so like that's that as well. Might be good against yellow, because yellow is kind of requires them to stretch their calls, especially for Thunder Dragon, to like to actually do something. And then definitely not for blue, because they're just gonna set up their nessuses and just like put like a 1 huge elephant out with 4 calls on it.
Yep. I have
So
my elephant. What are they going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Like even green matchups like iffy. So like realistically, it's really only good against yellow. Maybe red.
Fair point.
I don't know. So it's only good like even like 1.5 of like the matchup.
Oh no. And maybe shamanism.
And maybe shamanism, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's a really awkward card. Like I don't like it because like late game as well, you would need to stack a lot of cards and a lot of calls to actually do something useful.
Yeah.
The problem is that right now, so obviously we have magic cards that like strip their cost down to 1, but then like the magic cards are like single target. So if you want to get the full value from it, you might have to like, okay, let's say the opponent has 1 spirit or 1 call, and you want to get the full value from it, so you want to put 2 other downs to 1 call as well. You need 2 of those magic to actually do that, and each of them is 4-2. I mean, granted they have, granted they have the EX symbol, but like still, do you really want to do that? And then it depends on what target you're looking for as well. Obviously, you have on the Nessus from the purple starter deck, but they only target cost 3 or less, and you have to destroy the Nessus. So you're losing 1 symbol on the field as well before you summon Duke. Yeah. And then so it's like obviously you can argue, well, maybe sometimes, especially when they have so many spirits on the board, some of them are gonna have 2 costs or something like only 2 costs or something like that. So you can just summon something to like on summon strip them down to 1 core. Well, I mean like actually like removing 1 core, those kind of effects, and then summon the Duke. But then like at the end, the good old problem is where do you have the cores to pay for that? And then so it's like, I mean, obviously the argument is also that like, well, you don't really have to get the full value from it then. It's one of those cases where if you can get it, nice.
Yeah.
But like if you can't, you just summon it just for the sake of like removing 1 or 2 spirit, which like makes sense. But then why don't I just play the other cards then?
Fair enough.
Like like if you really wanna remove like just 1 or 2 targets, I might as well play like the X-Rare from the starter deck, which technically is even more useful because it has more flexibility. Because like what's his name, Peligoluju Te, like the Emperor Peligolju, Peligorge,
Yes.
I guess. Yeah. That card has true release, which already makes it way better than the Duke. Granted, it's a maximum BP is like 10k, but you just need a so-called for it to reach 10k. So like I think the difference between 10k and 11k isn't that much of a difference. And then like so for Perigorge on summon as well, you can target an opposing spirit, and you can send a total of 2 calls to the reserve. If you have an exhausted Blood Rouse family spirit, instead you can change the target to up to 2 targets. They're both in the same family. Like if the Duke is in like say like Dark Puss, which is like the family for shamanism, then you can argue about okay, that's another removal of shamanism. Well, for Dark Puss family in general, so then there's some use in it. But they're all in the Blood Rouse family. So why don't I just play another copy of Pedigorge then? It's like would be my argument basically, So it's like, yeah, like this card is like really awkward, and I do not like it at all.
Yeah, I don't have any arguments to defend it, and I can't convince you otherwise. So
Yeah, it's like this. Like I honestly, just like just put this card at the bottom, like
okay,
D.
very well.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess we have spent so much time on that guy because you were so disappointed in him. So well,
I just like finding reasons to justify how worthless it is.
yeah. Then next up we have the Wheelca, which is another cost for extra. Which when it is summoned, you can exhaust up to 3 spirit with 3 cost or lower. On level 2, which only requires 2 core during your attack step, all of your armored fish get an extra 1000 BP. Which looks small, but it adds up really quickly. And yeah, you still have the PP boost from Dante Cleo as well, so that's another thing to that is nice to remember. So basically, with Dante Cleo, then you can basically go to 8k instantly. Which, yeah, you probably want some more so that you can escape Flame Hurricane. So then when Dante Cleo refreshes Wheelca, then you can avoid the Flame Hurricane on the Wheelca, I guess. But then again, exhausting 3, it doesn't really give you any advantage on your part, but it clears the board pretty much instantly. So if your opponent wasn't sure how to set up their blocker and they have like smaller blockers, then yeah, I guess. Also, like in the earlier turns, I guess that kind of gives you a way to kind of like just go through your opponent's defenses. So you probably can just summon Wheelca, hit 1 damage, but that 1 damage early might actually like change things. And also, because it's a low cost, you can... But yeah. So far, what do you think about this small orca? It's actually small though.
It's
a quite slim orca.
it's
Yeah, I feel like it's somewhere on the same level of HIRAHIRA because like again it's a lower cost, so like it's way easier to use than that Duke for that's for sure. And I mean like especially if we compare to the Duke, right? Like yeah, like exhausting 1 cost 3 in the late game is certainly beats like just destroy trying to deplete like 1 spirit with the Duke, right? Like you can like again it's an exhaust is not a permanent removal, but like on your kill turn it is as good as permanent anyway, because like if your opponent is dead, then you don't need to worry about that spirit ever refreshing again.
True, yeah. Like I think that's one thing to consider. So like obviously for green, they don't actually have any kind of removal because they're designed to be quick.
Yep.
And then which means like the point, especially since this in the armorfish family as well. So the whole point is like to put down the defense for 1 turn so you can get through it.
Yes.
So in that sense, this card is actually really good because like so like well, it's one of those, again, it's like can be situational, but like it's a card which the armorfish is lacking. Because like armorfish, yeah, you can just like keep attacking them, but then like the opponents might be able to match your number of spirits, and then like at one point when they already start being able to set up, they have more cost to summon something with higher BP, and they have more cost to use magic cards to remove your spirits. They will be gaining resources while you're losing yours because they're building up the board while you're still having like the lower cost spirits, lower BP spirits stuck there, unable to attack because their BP are too high. Like something like that. So like armorfish will face that problem, which is why like this card will come in really handy because like it brings down the early defense for the from the opponents. They might be thinking, okay, yeah, I'll just put down these really low cost spirits here, but like, they may have EX symbols as well. So it, like in a sense, even if they have lower BP and they block it, they still gaining, they're still building up the board because they're building up the symbols for legacy, stuff like that.
Yep.
Like while dragging the game, that's the whole point
Mm-mm.
of like basically the cards with with EX symbols,
Mm-mm.
you know. Um, so like in that sense, like this card is it's basically it's kind of speeding up the game state,
Mm-mm.
for you as like the Armorfish player.
Yeah.
And which is why like and then obviously it's kind of like designed to be like as like an early game disruption as well,
Mm-mm.
which is why the limitation is cost 3 or less,
Mm-mm.
because obviously if it's any like
Any
if it's
higher
like
than
any higher cost, like it can be really broken.
yes.
Yeah. So it's like I think it's like it's a pretty well designed card actually.
Mm-mm.
And then obviously as I mentioned, sometimes your Armorfish may be lacking the BP.
Mm-mm.
So the fact that at level 2 it gives constantly plus 1k to all your Armorfish is also really good.
Mm-mm.
I mean, again, if you play Pterosaur in Saga, you would know like how the plus 1k from like the the canyon,
Yeah,
the
the
burning
canyon.
canyon. Yeah, it's like actually really important and
Mm-mm.
sometimes really useful.
Yeah.
And also like it's basically the same case here,
Mm-mm.
So like honestly, I just think this card is actually really decent. Like
Yeah.
in my list, it's a 2 off.
Mm-mm.
Like maybe not 3, because like 4 minus 2 is still. I would say 4 minus 2 is already really high cost for Armorfish.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I know, very ironic. And because
Yeah.
like at the end, your Armorfish cards, a lot of them are like minimum 1 cost,
Mm-mm.
or like the way you can see is like even if they need to pay 2 costs, you can, they give you extra resources. For example, Puffer, they give you
Mm-mm.
1 extra call. Uh, for the and then like for example the Squid X-Ware,
Mm-mm.
which is this called Squid.
Yep.
No, it's minimum 2 costs, but then
Mm-mm.
if you put it level 2, it can refresh itself. So you're technically paying 2 costs for 2 spirits.
Mm-mm.
So when you think about it this way, they're all very low cost
Mm-mm.
for what they're doing.
Mm-mm.
So 4 minus 2, basically minimum 2 costs, is actually pretty high for this deck.
Yeah.
So like I think like a 2 off is good enough.
Mm-mm.
Like because you're not expected to push it out early anyway,
Mm-mm.
just because of like how high the minimum cost is.
Mm-mm.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say it's definitely better than Shi-Reizen, and it's probably better than Valdigeyer in a way then. Or I mean like compared to Restiel, and it's definitely better. But is it better than Valdigeyer? Do you think?
Uh, for what Armorfish does,
Mm-mm.
yes. I would say like this is one of the cards where you have to put in Armorfish.
Mm-mm.
So I will actually put it in A tier at
Okay.
least.
So maybe I'll put it below Carnelian first, and if it got too crowded, then we'll put it down.
Lamau.
Yep.
We might put it up actually.
Yeah. Oh, is it above Carnelian?
No, it's still below because it's like yeah, because it's more archetype centric.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Then next up we have our cover girl for this for green, the Mermaidia Princess. That's the very simple effect that we all know and love, which is add 1 core from the void to the spirit. So basically, with your lower core increase, usually they go to the trash. This one goes to the spirit, so you can use it right away. And of course, if you have listened to our last week's podcast, then you know that she has the current effect to boost the symbol of one of your cost 8 or higher armored fish by 1 by exhausting her during the attack step. Yeah. So yeah, 5 costs, 1 reduction. She gives you a core, and she is a 7k blocker at the very least.
Yeah, so needing one soul core for 7k, I suppose it's pretty decent for green, I guess. Uh, so it's really hard to say. Like, is that like this card is definitely not bad. The problem is the deck itself is bad. So it's hard to rank.
Yeah.
It's like but like let's just say within the archetype, you know, within the archetype, it's definitely a good card because like a current deck in general, it needs a lot of cores because it needs a lot of setup. Uh, so you know, like being able to wrap a core on someone already makes it really good for the game because obviously, you know, it means you have more cores to use later on. Uh, a little bit of an awkward part though is that its current needs to be a level 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have the soul core to do it. You have the soul core to just put that true release. So I guess that's not the biggest problem. But like, it's also like really ironic because like all the other cards were current, except for like the Axolotl, which obviously because it's 3-2, so it makes sense. And that's at level 2. You know, the other ones are all level 1 current. So I mean, I suppose like that's kind of the balance they want to do because like all the other cards were current. Like it's like you're using them mainly for current, but then for the mermaid, is she a princess? I think
Yeah,
she's
she's a
no.
princess.
Oh, she is princess. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Mermaidia Princess. Yeah,
I remember
for
that because I like her.
yeah, for Mermaidia, the fact you can ram a call already makes it like a different focus than being a card with just current. Which I suppose is the main reason why they put current at level 2. But it doesn't solve the fundamental problem of current, which is that the opponent can easily stop it.
Yes.
Yeah, so the thing is like, I mean, obviously right now, current as a deck isn't even in the meta. It's not even popular. At least from the statistic we see, you know. And even if it is, you know, there are so many ways to just like stop it. You know, like even like just within the same color, you already got Flatty, which can summon from hand on the opposite on the opposite attack step. You know, it's like, haha, I saw all your blockers now, swing, and it's like, yep, I'm just gonna summon Flatty from hand, block.
Yeah. So which one
Yeah,
would win? Your
yeah.
scorecard.
I mean, obviously, that is a very
Yeah.
simplistic scenario because we do have I mean, obviously, because like you can argue, well, then I can have other magic cards to just exhaust it, you know, stuff like that. Which you know, what you're correct. But like that's just one example. So like another example, maybe like in purple, they have a magic card, which obviously the downside is they have to destroy their own cost 6 or more spirit. But then like,
Oh yeah.
they literally destroy an exhausted spirit. But what are you gonna do with that?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of nothing.
Yeah, and then like there are also like kind of like other ways to disrupt your end game because like you know they don't have to they don't have to remove the well, they don't have to block the well, you know, in during flash timing because obviously current is a flash effect, so you have to activate one by one. Well, I'm just gonna destroy it before you activate current, you know, which
Yeah.
is what red is probably going to do. You know, even white, you know, if current eventually becomes a big problem, you know, they will have magic cards where it's, yeah, I'm just gonna bounce the spirit to hand.
Yeah.
Now where's your last symbol? You know, you know, like there are like in general, like there are too many ways to disrupt this deck. And like that's like the biggest weakness of it. And like unfortunately Mermaidia doesn't solve that problem. It solves some of the problem, you know, in that, you know, it helps you to build up the field with like the cores and stuff like that. But like it doesn't help with the end game is how I would describe it. So I would say B tier. Like
Yeah, now that you
It's
argue that
it's decent for the deck, but
Mhm.
then it's like it doesn't it solves some of the problem, but not most.
Mm-mm.
I'll say less than less tier.
Mm-mm. Yeah, we'll put
Yeah.
them there for now.
Yeah.
We'll get Ayumu soon. Don't worry, Mermaidia Princess.
Mm.
Okay, now we have your favorite whale of the game, which is the whale.
That
Well,
whale.
it's actually just a whale.
It's literally just a whale, yeah.
So of course it has 10 chonky cost with 6 no less reduction symbols. That's legacy, of course, to help you to summon it. When it is summoned, for each of your spirit with current, choose one opposite spirit, exhaust them. Oh, it's a happy exhaust even.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you will be happy for the rest of the turn mostly, unless your opponent has that little fish. Yeah. While it attacks flash once per turn, you choose one of your spirit with current, refresh it. After that, that spirit during this turn, that spirit cannot attack. Okay. Then the alternative that I have in mind actually cannot work. But yeah, so one, it doesn't have true release. So yeah, I guess like it's kind of designed to be on the side with Mermaidia Princess, so that you basically put your soul core on Mermaidia Princess, and then you put your extra cores on Hoel.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, like, at least the summon effect is actually really good.
Mm-mm.
So I would say it really depends on how you play the deck.
Mm-mm.
So like obviously, I've been saying, oh yeah, it's just like a one punch deck, but obviously that might not be the case. It
Mm-mm.
can be like, you hit for one, then two, something
Mm-mm.
like that.
Yeah.
Or in this case, three,
Mm-mm.
kind of.
Yep.
So if we think about it from that way, to be fair, it's not that bad.
Mm-mm.
I mean, the summon effect is actually decent,
Mm-mm.
especially since it's heavy exhaust as well.
Mm-mm.
So like, even you cannot finish them in one turn, you're at least delaying them for one turn.
Mm-mm.
Which is a huge thing as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, 10 minus 6 is a lot of calls, but then obviously you got legacy,
Mm-mm.
so it's not the worst as well. And then
Yeah.
like a lot of the magic casting current
Mm-mm.
actually do have EX symbols, I think.
Mm-mm.
Let me look. I mean, I played 2 tentacle attack. Oh, actually, yeah, I misremembered. No, they do not have a lot of EX symbols.
Double Vortex has one. That thing that you took out has one. Yeah. The
Vortex Swamp or something like that, yeah.
yeah, Vortex something, yeah. The double Vortex has one.
Oh yeah, double Vortex. Oh, I
Mhm.
didn't play that card, so
Well.
yeah. I mean, yeah, if you play that one, then yeah. I played the other one, which is like Wave Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, even Mermaidia herself has EX symbol as well.
Mhm.
Flappy has the EX.
Wait,
Flappy has the EX symbol.
Mermaidia doesn't have
Actually,
EX.
oh no, I misread. Like it has like the slight golden glimpse. I thought it does.
It's just
Uh,
that's just an extra.
yeah. Well, the Axolotl has the EX symbol.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean it. Well, I guess that comes to that building. It's like one of those things where like if you want to force it, yeah, you can definitely put more cards with EX symbols. It's not really that hard. Especially with like a kind of like a semi-control deck like current, you're gonna be putting a lot of the magic cards in there as well. So it's probably not that hard to stack the EX symbols. I mean, also like in general, by the time you summon well, you should be having at least 2 spiritual currents on board anyway. Like the way I would say your optimal board is at least 2 necessus and 2 spiritual current. That's already 4 symbols. So realistically, you really just need 2 EX symbols in the trash, which is not hard to do at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from that perspective, the cost is pretty decent, I guess. Especially since it's green, it ramps You know, you
Yeah.
should have the calls anyway. But yeah, at the end, the problem is like when you want to make big punches, but then you don't really have the immunity. So like you're spending a lot of calls for not a lot of pressure is how I would say it. Um,
Yeah.
so
But I guess
I
like
don't
yeah.
know.
But then yeah.
Maybe like C.
Yeah. Above Shi-Reizen for sure. I mean like I guess like
Yeah,
yeah I can.
you argue like you want to use this one as like the end game. Uh, but like it really depends, cause like if you, for example, you think, oh yeah, no, I still think this card is too high cost. You have other cost 8 options for currency if you really want. So like the well is not absolute
Yeah.
even for the current deck. Is how I would say it. You know, if you really just want to cost 8, you know, that is literally an 8 mana 6 with legacy. It's like this is like a pseudo vanilla card. But hey, if you just need early attackers, there you are.
Yep.
You know. Yeah. So it really depends on how you want to build the deck, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, if just judging by the clutch factor against Shi-Reizen, yeah, definitely way better than Shi-Reizen, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Like it's one of those cards where like you probably still want to include in current, but it's just like you don't have to.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Let's go to the first white boost one, which is like a 5 cost reduction. Rgyum, which is when summon, if you have a spirit with boost, you draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. During and then it has a true release when it is at level 2 during your attack step. And when your spirit with boost becomes 6,000 or higher, you retain one opposing spirit with 3,000 or lower PP to the hand. Personally, it feels like a really hard sell.
Yeah, no, I feel that as well. It's like most of the time you're probably only gonna draw one card, or even none. Like I don't know. Like I haven't actually looked into amplify that much. Well, yeah, we call it amplify.
Yeah.
We call them boost.
Yeah, nah, we don't call them boost. I just forgot what amplify is, and then I just a synonym.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think amplify sounds way cooler anyway.
Yeah, basically, yeah, with the amplify, yeah, again, like we don't know like how much like light spirits that well, light as in like lighter cost spirits that you will bring, but like don't think you will in white in general. I don't think you will be able to use your cards down to 1. So like, yeah,
Yeah,
like,
especially since like most of them are kind of like in medium cost as well, so it's not like you can spam them out. And then I just try to draw more, something like that. And then again, this even if you manage to spam the other ones out, this one is 5 -2.
yeah,
You're not gonna do everything in one turn.
yeah,
Yeah. But like it's definitely one of those things where like it's one of those classic designs where so like it's kind of same as Shi-Reizen, where like it looks low cost enough for early game, but it's actually a late game card.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I think it's one of those cards where they expect you to kind of like keep spamming the ball, and then when you exhaust your whole hand, that's when you summon it. So like arguably, if you even want to play it, probably just one copy is enough. Honestly, because like level 2 effect isn't exactly that impressive either. Because like 3,000 or less, you know, by that point, what targets are going to be 3,000 or less?
exactly.
I mean, there probably will still be 1 or 2, so it's not the worst. But then again, just like 5 -2 is really awkward.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't help that like even within the archetype, you already have Soshima, which can search for amplified cards. So like this is not the only draw card you have. Well, quote unquote draw or search. You know, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
And then like I feel like especially right now, like the design for white in general, like you don't really need to search for more cards anyway, as long as like you kind of like manage to stabilize yourself. And also it doesn't have that literally I'm staring at another 3-1 that can make you draw.
Oh my
So it's like,
God.
yeah, I mean, granted, it's a lot of condition, but you might as well make that possible than trying to summon this. Is how I would say, you know. So I don't know. It's like I think like their concept is like because like for example in red, you got like offering draw, which is like 4-2 and you gain 2 cards. So it's like you're paying 1 cost for 1 card. And then like this becomes an extra rare because you're paying 1 cost for 1 card and then also you gain a body. I think like that's kind of like the design concept behind it, which like not wrong. And I think like it can have some issues in it. Like it's not like completely useless, but then it's like kind of like
Very
really hard
situational.
to
Yeah.
use it. Yeah, it's like very situational, but nonetheless. So like, I think it's like quite different to, for example, Duke. Like 'cause like Duke is like you really don't need to use it when you have other options. Like Logilum is more like it has a unit effect, but then it's very situational. And then like you would want to play it, but maybe like 1 copy. So maybe like somewhere along C tier, I would say.
Or do we just put it on the above Dunpillion?
Yeah, Duke can stay at all.
Yeah. Just to spite the Duke, will put Lorcera 1 seat here.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay then. Now that we are done spotting the Duke, we'll see if if White has any contender to get to accompany the Duke in the bottom tier. Yeah, so we basically have our first Amplify Extra, the Lars-Beriberg. So when it attack or blocks, it has an activation effect during the flash timing once per battle by paying 1 cost for each of your specific family spirit. You gain 1000 BP. And then during that battle. And then on level 2, in which thankfully it has a true release, otherwise you will have to put 5 cards on top of it. When it while it is attacking once per turn, if the spirit's PP becomes 12,000 or higher, refresh the spirit. The spirit can refresh.
So personally, I actually really like this card.
Yeah.
Because, well, I mean, at the point where you can pay minimum 2 costs for it, like I'm expecting you to have 2 other spirits on the field. Is how I would say.
Yep.
Especially for white, which is all about board presence. So like getting into 12k is not hard at all because like obviously it like amplify counts itself. So that's already 1k. And then so from 9 to 12 you just need 3k in total, so you just need 2 other spirits. So it's like it's not hard at all. And then it like and then also like on the other hand, the thing is like on the other hand, like because with the ruling change, even when your spirit is depleted, it can still be referenced. So you can also deplete if you really have to. You can deplete your own spirits to still get to 12k and then refresh.
Yep.
So like when you think about it that way, there is quite a bit of flexibility in it.
Yeah.
So like, and obviously, the classic white effect, just restand. You can attack again with it if you want to. You can just leave it as a blocker. But that's like the whole point of it. And it's also like really powerful because having like a blocker where you can alter the BP is actually really powerful. I would say, like, because again, as I said, when we're discussing about red cards, arguably you're only expecting like a 12k spirit blocking. And this can go higher than 12k, depending on how well you can set up your board. So it's just like a card that's like really good in terms of attacking and also really good in terms of defense. Like it's lacking the clash element where you're forcing the opponent to block. But like depending on how you play your game, like for example, if you pressure them early game, then at this stage where you're summoning, where you're able to summon Lars-Beriberg, you should be forcing the opponent to block. At like as in like optimal boss state. And then think about it, not even Red can get to that BP easily.
Yep.
But you can get to 12k, you force them to block, you can refresh it once, and then like obviously the best part is like in terms like the refresh condition is completely depending on yourself. So you can fix it yourself.
Yeah.
It's not like Valdigeyer where like
it depends on the opponent.
Yeah, it depends on the opponent. This one you can like, okay, yeah, I just need to make sure I have free spirits and I can refresh it. So like, which obviously the downside is like amplify is like a flash event. So like if they remove something during flash, then like of course, that means like you cannot get to 12k. But also the level 2 effect is a limited amplify.
Exactly.
So if you really need to, just use a magic card.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, I really like this card. I think I would put it's also just like a really good card for amplify in general. Since like all the other amplify cards, they don't necessarily have the same pressure. That's how I would describe it. Like obviously there's another 6-3 also with true release, but refresh at the end step.
Yeah.
And then you might have like the Pepper Dragon, which can on summon bouncer 8,000 or less to hand. But like that's kind of like about as much pressure you can get in Amplify deck, like without attacking. I mean, so like this card is absolutely needed in Amplify. I would even put like a free off in there. I think this card is at least an 8 here.
Yeah, that is
might be debatable for S because it looks really empty up there. But like, let's put it on A for now. We can decide what goes to S at the end, maybe.
Exactly. let's put it below Babianaros for now, just because Babianaros has the waifu buff. Okay, then next we have the last white extra. So we're pretty much 2/3 of the way done now. So we have the Gigantocheires. Gigantocheires. It's a 8 cost, 4 reduction, very chunky boy. It has legacy. Main effect is when it attacks once per turn, retain one opposing. You can retain one opposing. You can choose one opposing spirit at 6,000 BP or lower, or one opposing nexus. Return that target to the hand. If you retain a spirit, add one card from the void to the spirit. If you return a nexus, during this battle, this spirit gains 1 white symbol. And it doesn't even need to release because its level 2 cost is only 2 cores.
Yeah. Obviously, that means like a relatively low BP. Like for white cost 8, 9,000 is kind of low.
Yeah.
But I think that's fine because like you're using it to attack anyway. Like the main point of it is you use it to attack. So like, yeah, that's kind of fine. I think the good thing about it is that like, because it has legacy, it means you can push it out relatively early for the deck it's in, which is Mineroid. And it's a pretty aggressive card as well, and can disrupt the board quite easily. Like so, like say you manage to, because like depending on how you play it, like you can technically push it out by like turn 3 or 4 even, and depending on how many EX symbols you can build up, and then bouncing a cost 6, not cost 6, bouncing 6,000 or less spirit or one nessus are both very disruptive during mid game, I would say. Because like the main thing is like you're slowing down how much the opponent can do as well, especially like in the current set where like you don't get a lot of costs where like they have very low minimum costs. Like realistically, the only deck that would actually do that is again Armorfish. But then like you'll be changing playstyle anyway, and obviously every card needs to have a weakness.
Yeah.
So it's like by that point you wouldn't be really summoning this card early game anyway.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, like the choice to return a Nessus is also pretty interesting
Mm-mm.
because we don't get to see that a lot in white right now.
Mm-mm.
Actually, I don't even think there are any other effects that return Nessus to hand right
Yeah.
now in the standard format.
Yeah. Even the other next instruction is probably just break law at this point.
No, there are more.
Oh.
There is one more, which is
Okay.
6 mana straight.
Oh, yeah.
It's a spirit.
Basically,
And
they
then
just
also
split
you
Andromeda
have,
into two cards.
yeah, and then you also have the blue magic's full stomach. Yes, it's blue. It destroys Nessus.
Of
Um,
course it does.
yeah. So like yeah, but like in terms of bouncing Nessus, I mean at least within white, there isn't really any Nessus disruption, which right now it might not be the most useful
Mm-mm.
because like you don't really have a lot of Nessuses where it kind of like disrupts in the opposite turn.
Mm-mm.
The most I can think of is like the barrage forest
Mm-mm.
from blue, which like forces you to pay some cost if you
Mm-mm.
want to attack with one call. Obviously, can be pretty good mirror game as well, actually, because obviously they will have Nessuses to buff their BP and stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So, like in general, I think it's a pretty high versatile card.
Mm-mm.
For white. Um, I mean, even though its family is only mineroid, you can argue that it's the first. It's like a white general card, kind of
Mm-mm.
like a
Carnelian.
Chameleon. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. Because like it's the facts isn't limited to any family,
Mm-mm. Ah,
and
yeah.
it's not exactly limited to any archetype as well.
Mm-mm.
So like it's just one of those cards where like it helps you to build up mid game or it helps you to end the game as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously you either want to gain a core or you want to get two symbols and you force them to block.
Mm-mm.
Like obviously like if you can get symbols and hit them for two, that's good.
Mm-mm.
But like realistically that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Like what's really going to happen is like you bounce the Nessus, you gain one more symbol, you force them to block with their spirits,
Mm-mm.
which is also kind of what you want in white as well. Because obviously white is all about just bouncing. But when you bounce them, they just come back.
Mm-mm.
They just resummon and stuff like that. So like what it does is that you're punishing them for setting up the board.
Mm-mm.
They might be like, okay, now I got a few spirits, let's put down some Nessuses.
Mm-mm.
And then you just bounce the Nessuses and now you force the spirit to block and now they lose one spirit anyway.
Mm-mm.
Like it's like so it's a pretty versatile card and I actually really like it.
Mm-mm. Now that you put it that way, I see it in a whole new light.
Give me
And yeah. Then yeah, I will argue it's probably going to be maybe between Anaros and Berry. Or is it below Berry Pop? That is a hard question. Like Berry Pop can, I mean it is way more expensive than Berry Pop, that's for sure. Do we? Yeah, I guess we'll put it below Berry Pop first, and we'll see if our mind changes. And then yeah, we are done with white, which means we are in the yellow territory for now. If you ask me, we don't need to waste our time. Everything is done. So I guess we'll put this guy. Will you put that below or after Beripo?
I would say I'll put it before Belly Bog because it's
Okay.
definitely more useful than Belly Bog.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
We're stacking quite a lot of cards in 80, aren't we?
Yeah. So we'll have eventually have to trickle down things. And yeah, now
Yeah.
we're in yellow territory. If you ask me, we can just put everything in D tier. Finally give the Duke some friends.
Llama. We'll see. I haven't actually
No,
looked into Yellow that
yeah,
much.
I was just kidding because like, of course, like now the problem with yellow is not really the card power itself. It's more into like just what Ayumu said. It's more like it pretty much has this with the magic rate. It kind of have the same problem with current rate. Like it doesn't it felt pretty awkward for me personally, because now magic rate needs their own magic, Thunder Dragon needs their own magic, and then they were given 3 each, and then now you don't really have any. Well, I guess you can argue that it kind of fulfills what they needed, but also like yeah, I feel like I will be more comfortable if I have more options. But Igle-Mitas, if I if I were to say it like more, if I had to give it more thought, I guess like instead of like having a when summon effect, it gives you 1 card every turn. Although the drawback is of course then you have to exhaust it, and which that would not be ideal, because you would want to put it on level 2, which is it's at 8k, and it can be a very nice blocker, but of course you kind of have to choose whether you want to put it as a blocker or you want to just put it as a searcher. Then of course through release during your attack step once per turn, if you use a yellow magic, you can choose one of the specific family spirit that Igle-Mitas itself doesn't have. During this turn, that spirit cannot be blocked. So yeah, I feel like I have like a little bit more positive view of Igle-Mitas and Ember Mummy that we will be covering soon. After I tried to change my mindset a little bit, less into like using it as a combo deck that kind of focuses on Ember Mummy, and see it more into like a tempo deck, in which like basically Igle-Mitas and Ember Mummy is kind of built into like the end game, because I guess then even though the as long as you can activate Igle-Mitas, the rest doesn't really like you don't have to have 2 symbols on Ember Mummy. I guess like you just have to deal that 1 loss damage, and because thanks to magic rate allowing you to activate the magic at the start of your attack, then you can basically, if you really need to, just use the magic to buff Igle-Mitas so that it will not be destroyed by Flame Hurricane. If you really need to, then just give the unblockable to the attacking spirit, or just buff the attacking spirit, like whatever you need during your when you need to, pretty much. Yeah, so it is not as awkward as I thought it will be, but yeah, then on the early game, it's kind of like that weird trade-off in which like, do you want to leave it as a big blocker, or do you want to search?
I think I suppose like this is more like a design choice, because like then like especially when this deck relies on magic cards, they're kind of like asking you to also rely on defense on magic cards. Is how I'm seeing it. And then obviously, you know, you also pointed out that like the main attacker is basically Ember
Mummy.
Ember Mummy, Ember Mima, sorry. Ember Mima. So it's like so you don't really need anything else to like kind of like be standing or something like that. I think the interesting thing is also that like at some point they're not even telling you to rely on magic cards. They're literally telling you to tank.
Yeah.
Because like obviously you got a Thunder Scepter to kind of recover your life. So then like, you know, I don't think it's the worst that like you can't block with it. It's just you know, as you said, it's like a trade-off where like you constantly have something to add to hand, like in return you're losing a blocker. But I think that's fine depending on how well you use the magic. You know, during the whole game basically. It's like, now that I see it, I think it might be pretty interesting that like for for like what for the topaz deck is how we translate it.
Yep.
Instead of being pure yellow, it might be worth like mixing up some colors. Like for example, like I would say the candidates is either white or blue. Yeah, I mean to be fair, actually, I like so basically the way I'm thinking of is like because you're relying on using basically magic cards or like other field presence to defend anyway. It means that like, and then also like the thing is like your yellows, your top pass spirits or even your magic, like they don't really need too many yellow symbols anyway. You know, for example, like Mitas here is only 2 yellow reductions, you know, so you just need, for example, 2 really cheap yellow spirits on the board. You just need some necessities on the board, and then like you'll be fine. So and then also like and then obviously with Embalmimer is that like it has legacy as well. So as long as you play like the yellow magic with EX symbols like Triple Thunder, you know, stuff like that. You know, like you will have enough symbols to summon it out anyway. So then like that gives you the option to mix up some colors. So, which like definitely will be interesting to look at. But I suppose this is not exactly what we're discussing today. You know, as an individual card, I think it's decent enough as an X rare. You know, it gives you like a constant resource, every turn. I mean, we just say we're not gonna think about what will happen in the future, but I feel like the top plus deck, especially for Mitas, is definitely one of the cards where it would benefit more when the game develops, because obviously you're gonna get more
magic
of like well, not even just magic, just like those cards in general. But I think like the family's targeting is only limited to magic, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it's it search for a specific magic, and also it pops a specific. You can use any magic, but like you can use any yellow magic, but you have to target a specific family for the unblockable.
Yeah. We translate as Echo Chant.
Oh yeah.
Also, Embalmimer actually has Echo Chant.
Ah.
Oh, some spirits have it as well. Okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It's a lot more versatile than I thought. Then actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then I actually can put it very high. So like
Yeah,
at least top of
it's
B.
actually pretty high. Yeah. I think it's top of B. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would definitely think it's top of B. Like it's not. So basically, the way I would see is like, I mean, obviously there can be a lot of elements to consider, but I think like the most basic thing you can consider is like whether this card is useful on its own or it needs some kind of combo to be useful. And when I mean on its own, I mean like can it gives value on its own. You know, not that it doesn't have to combo with the whole deck. I mean, obviously you kind of have to, because that's the whole point of building a deck.
Exactly.
But like, obviously with Mitas on its own, it can give you quite a lot of value, especially if your opponent cannot remove it. Which can happen depending on the matchups. You know, for example, it was like against white, blue, green, even
Or
like
against
yellow.
Topaz.
Yeah, just like Yellow Mirror in general. It's
Mhm.
sometimes even against Thunder Dragon, depending on like at which stage of the game it is.
Yep.
You know, Mitas can survive for more than one turn. Yeah, so you're getting a net gain there, like because like you know, it's let's say you gain one card every turn. You know that let's say it survives for 2 turns, so it's getting 2 cards.
Yep.
You know that's like a net gain of 2. And well, actually not net gain of 1 because you're -1 for Mitas. But like well, depends on how you want to calculate it, but you get my point.
Exactly.
Like the unblockable is definitely a bonus there. But like it's also very much needed because like obviously it's used for something like against white where they have really high BP and you just don't want them to block. And then obviously it kind of skips the process as well, you know, like you don't have to wait for them to block, and then it forces you to use quite a lot of calls because obviously Bandai learned the lessons. They're not gonna make yellow that broken, which means like Thunder Shutter technically still have a cost because obviously you need to send one call from your spirits to your life. So then like there's a limitation on how many times you can attack in a turn. So like the fact it can give you unblockable means you're putting the limit to just 5 maximum. You know, which is also fair enough. That's pretty well as well because how do I describe this? I need to double check Embalmimer.
We'll
okay.
get that.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
soon anyway.
Wait, yeah, Embalmimer also has true release.
Yeah.
So like the way you play is like I would say you put the so-called Embalmimer and then leave meters at level 2 with 4 calls. So I think like the combo you try to do it is like you attack with Embalmimer, use Thunder Shutter, put one call from anywhere else, not meters yet, to your life, and then at this point meters give the unblockable to Embalmimer for the whole turn. So then now you have 3 spare calls to use on meters. So it's like at the end you need 3 extra calls anyway. So technically in terms of how you use the meters, the 4 calls for level 2 doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You know, is how I would see it. So it's like oh, there are 4 calls. It's like very high cost for like 8,000, which like makes sense. But then like also you're going to exhaust it anyway. So like it's more like you only care about the high BP in case you're facing against red, yellow, or white, basically, because white bounce based on BP as well. Yeah. So it's really matchup dependent, but like I don't think it's too much of like a detriment. Is how I would say. Yeah.
I mean, like,
I definitely like the more I think about this, like this card is actually pretty good designed.
Exactly. And like I kind of disproved my own point earlier because like I mean like I thought like you kind of have to wait until the flash timing, but then again with mature rate you are kind of you kind of expect that during the moment you attack you can gain the unblockable right away anyway. So like
no, mature rate is a flash effect.
Oh fuck. Okay. Sorry about that. Cut that. I then thought I was wrong. I cannot read.
Yeah, but like then obviously like you know, I mean we can talk about the deck later. I mean we can talk
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but like
anyway,
well where would you put meters then?
Yeah, same. Be top of B tier because I think like still like again it's a very versatile search, but like again like if you wanted to actually like change the game, like it cannot do it on its own. But like it's still like as a support card, it's a very, very, very nice card.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So now we have the one that is probably can stand a little bit on its own, which I am kind of bitter because like we just talked about Thunder Shatter. We have Zelotl. Zelotl is literally on the art for Thunder Shatter, but Thunder Shatter cannot be used with Thunder Dragon. So I was like, why? That is like the one card that can give me the benefit of its level 2 effect for some reason. Well, I mean like again, like with Thunder Dragon, you would want your magic mostly to extend like the PP minus. But yeah, I feel like if we can have something like Thunder Shatter for Thunder Dragon, that would have been a nice option to have. Not sure whether you will be able to use it or not, and definitely will be something that Zelotl itself will benefit from. But yeah, I'm just bitter basically. But yeah, it is another option because unlike Lugnus that focuses on one spirit, it basically gives minus 2000 to 2 spirit when it is summoned. And of course, if it becomes 0, it destroys them. When it attacks once per turn, when you use a Thunder Dragon magic, after that effect activates, after that effect resolves, you return that card to the hand. It does need 3 cores on it to be level 2. But yeah, you use it once and then you can basically just level it down during your in step 2 anyway, so it doesn't it is still pretty nice card to stand on its own. But yeah, personally, I still like Lugnas way more. But yeah, I guess like it does have its moments. Because like now if you want to again like yellow with the Thunder Dragon, you also have that one nexus that basically disallow your opponent's spirit that have 1000 BP from blocking. So like just by the virtue of like Zelotl being able to target multiple spirits, you might not be able to destroy them yet, but like you at least can get more attacks through instead of like focusing on destroying them. Which I think it's that one option that I was like seeking from like Thunder Dragon. So like instead of like trying to destroy multiple things, you just say no. I mean like again, if your opponent is dead, they cannot do that those spirits surviving will not matter to you. Yeah.
I actually think as for Zelotl, the summon effect is the bonus. The main effect is the level 2.
Yeah.
Because like I think like Zelotl is one of those cards where like it might not be very impactful on itself.
Yes.
But then it's something that forces your opponent to do something. Because like I've faced a situation where like when I was playtesting where like my opponent summoned Zelotl, and then like I was kind of slow playing a little bit as well, because like I was like testing like how slow I can play with shamanism basically. And then like this thing is really annoying because what they did is like every turn they just attack with Zelotl, pay the soul call, use triple thunder, take it back to hand, repeat next turn. And then so like that's kind of like the dangerous parts of it. And like I actually really like that part. I mean, in general, the fact you can recycle a magic card is just like already really decent. The fact that like right now, Thunder Dragon also has basically the best yellow magic card as well. You know, doesn't make this card. Yeah, arguably, yeah. I think triple thunder is probably the best yellow magic you can have right now in standard, obviously. Because like -6k for one card is huge, man. Like obviously, don't forget Thunder Dragon is all about combos. So you got -2k here, -2k there. You know, you'll be removing an X-ray. You'll be removing an X-ray in no time, literally. So like, I actually think like I would actually really like Zelotl. Like, it's a very good addition for Thunder Dragon. It also encourages you to have like more playstyle than just like swing -2k, swing -2k, swing -2k, something like that. You know, give you something. It's give you another choice. Then like forcing you to use like 3 cards to remove something big. Because like you're basically using a 2-card combo here without losing anything. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, fair point. And yeah, again, like I feel like it is not that the card itself is like weak. For all eternity, I feel like this is one of the cards that will benefit from like when we get more magic for Thunder Dragon, especially.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Because like now the option is kind of limited, so like when we get more options, then it like doors will open. But for now,
probably Lobby.
Maybe is it worse than Valdigeyer?
I think it's better. I think it's better than Gaia.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also we are also biased. If you're not familiar with the channel yet, we both play yellow mostly. Ayumu leans more into purple as well. I lean more into white secondarily. So yeah, that's kind of the bias that we have. Yeah, I forgot to put that as a disclaimer in the beginning, but we are very partial for yellow. And of course, we have the final extra for yellow, the Embalmimer. I don't know why I remembered backwards. I thought it was Ember Mummy, also because
You want you
No,
probably
it's
want more meaning, like
it's the Egyptian mummy.
I mean, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
get it.
Yeah, I was like, I went like with the design, it kind of, I thought like, it does feels weird, but like I guess with the design, it kind of checks out because like we thought of mummy mostly with as like the bandage corpses, but like in the end they are like corpses of kings and uh important people. So like I feel like, yeah, I mean like if they wanted to dress up the corpse, like that's also fair, right? Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I think there'll be a sick design as well. Not gonna lie.
yeah, actually, yeah. But that's not our focus for today. The focus is on the status. It's a 8 cost with 5 yellow reduction. Of course, that's legacy to boost that as well. It have magic rate while it's attacking. You can activate during your flash once per battle. You can activate one topaz magic from your hand without paying the cost. Of course, you can only activate flash effect, not the main effect. So yeah, the combo, as we have mentioned earlier, it will be with Thunder Shatter, refresh itself, and then if you have Igle-Mitas, even better, then you can also make Ember Mima unblockable, which will be even more important because it has on level 2, while it is attacking once per turn, if you use a Topaz family magic, during this battle, the spirit gains 1 yellow symbol. Yeah, so actually it only gains that yellow symbol for one single battle per turn, but it's basically like during that it basically for the last hit it removes the your opponent's option to kind of like, okay, so now you cannot wait until the second attack, you kind of have to defend it now, kind of thing.
Yeah, but then obviously if you pair with uh the other X-ray
Yeah, Igle-Mitas. No, I mean like
Mitas.
if they wanted to play
No,
something
no.
like Defense Gate or like Flame Hurricane, then they have to play it during this battle.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, which means like if you catch them at a point where they're low on cost as well,
Mm-mm.
it's like it can be pretty disruptive.
Yep.
But I suppose like that's the fun of playing yellow, right? Like
Yeah.
it's all about like manipulating, like managing like the right situation to actually do something right.
Exactly.
And now, it's really funny because like I feel like a lot of the yellow cards X-ray here is really something more of like they gain more benefits as the game develops.
So like now it does feel a little bit underwhelming, but like I feel like when we get more cards, floodgates will open. Like we wouldn't even really think about what even if the yellow X transform set to are Topaz cards as well, and they are good, that will be for the better. But like even if they don't, these cards would have been better just by the virtue of like we having more options to play with them and around them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think even right now it's just like good enough because obviously it combos with Thunder Shutter. It's designed to combo with Thunder Shutter as well. And that's already good enough win condition, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, like especially in this early stage where like the fact that you can make more than 3 attacks in one turn is already really big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to mention that you heal as well.
Sorry?
And not to mention that you can heal as well while you are doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So like it's definitely another combo card. And then it also requires quite a bit of setup. So like the thing is like I would argue like this kind of has like a problem with like kind of similar to Current, but like a little bit better because like Current is more like you kind of want to go all in and then like if you fail you just fail.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
But like this one, if you fail, you get another life. So like
yeah, like you're still slowly building up like your own game state while you're making the attack. So like, and then obviously you don't have to use Thunder Shutter. You have other magic you can use as well. So like, it's definitely not the worst. But like, yeah, it's just like it's definitely like slightly better than current, just because also like because it's kind of a lower cost as well, I guess,
Yeah.
to play with. I mean, because like, obviously, arguably, like you technically don't even need meters. Like, it's a 2-card combo.
Yeah.
It's a 2-card end game. That's already way better than current.
Yeah, because like
So it's like, yeah.
I mean, like if you again like it is a little bit situational, but like if you catch your opponent like I mean like I mean against yellow, like what can they do? And then they have like 3 lives, no blockers. Just go to your turn, summon Embalmimer, attack, Thunder Shatter, you refresh itself, and then now you have like 1 attack that is 2 simple, 1 attack that is 1 simple. Like even if that doesn't kill them, like you take like 3 damage like straight up, which is already like a kind of wild in yellow. Like that level of damage is not something that is common in yellow, even in Eternal. So like, of course, like it cannot hold up in Eternal, but like yeah. I mean, like even in Eternal, like you don't really do that. You don't really have that much card that with 1 card you make 3 damage. That is not something that is common. So like that is something that is with only 2 cards, by the way. Like I know I used to play Merlin. You can do that with like 5 cards and you loop them, but like this one only 2 cards, you get 3 damage. That is already like a very nice value. Yeah, I feel like it deserves. I feel like I started this whole thing saying that all yellow should go with the Duke, but I feel like now everything is just better than Valdigeyer. Probably we'll just live with that order for now. Just by the virtue of Zelotl, I guess, like with it being able to just control the opposing board. But like that is still a little bit of a more utilitarian Embalmimer that is
Because
purely a
Embalmimer
finisher.
is like an end game card where like the way I would say is like any card that is like designed to be end game, you can definitely replace it in some way.
Yep.
But like a control card is harder to replace.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like I think it's definitely below than Sarah, whatever you call.
So basically, we just put like the whole yellow in the in the top of D tier now. And I first say that everything should just go to D tier. I mean, like I know they are good, but I just wanted for the meme, just because I wanted to say that I'm not yellow main. I'll put everything on D tier, but no, everything's in B tier because I am very partial about yellow and I want them to do good. Yeah. And of course, now we are in the final color, Ayumu, finally. With the Panda Panjang, which is one of my favorite naming ever. I think, don't know if I have started recording when I said why I like that. But basically in Indonesian that means long. It is kind of like it feels the same position as Restiel and Igle-Mitas, in which when it is summoned, you open the top 3 card of your deck, search for 1 spirit card with rumbling effect to add it to your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your deck. During your level 2, it has true release as well. During your attack step, the rumbling number of all of your spirits is increased by 2. So I guess kind of same level on Restiel, but I am pretty partial about this guy. Don't know why, I just really like him.
Yeah, it's decent. I think it's I mean, like I would say it's better than Restiel. Just because we've been saying that Restiel, her usefulness depends on the boss state, on the opposite board state. But Panjang is different. Like it depends. It's already applying pressure to the opponent as long as you have a Spirit Rumble. Obviously the opponent can still choose if they want to block or not, but you're basically telling them, well, if you don't block, you're moving more cards now. So that's already more pressure in terms of the decision making for the opponent, and that's already makes it kind of better than Restiel. I mean, obviously, you can argue that Restiel does the same thing, but then Restiel also have the cost where you have to exhaust her, stuff like that.
Yeah, And Panjang basically holds for the whole attack step as long as it is not killed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like I faced a Rumble deck before. It's like it's kind of similar to Zelotl, where it's like it may not be the most impactful, but it can be really annoying. And what it means is it forces your opponents to do something with it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and that's already good enough at this stage of the game.
Mm-mm.
You know, you kind of want to make them do something.
Mm-mm.
You know, because like then they're wasting their resources, and then like you know, especially in the case of Panjang, you're not losing a lot.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, well I'm just gonna mill 2 less cost now, but like, does it really matter?
Mm-mm.
I'm still going for your life, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, it's a decent card, you know. It searches and it gives pressure, it makes your opponent do something.
Mm-mm.
Like, it's definitely another like, I would actually say that this might be an A tier card.
Huh. Interesting. But I
Like,
wouldn't
go on.
disagree.
Yeah, it's just because like it's definitely archetype specific, but then it's like it does what the deck wants it to do, which is like just like giving a lot of pressure.
Yep.
And
also taking
like
the flame hurricane of your other spirits.
True, yeah, that as well. Because if you leave the soak on it, you're forcing the opponent to also take a life first.
Yes.
Before actually trying to destroy with Flame Hurricane, which then by that point you probably only be milling 5 cards because they need to reduce 1 life first.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, you know, like yeah, like actually, you know, it's actually just really good, you know.
Yeah.
Like especially since it's 5 costs as well. What it means is that like it's very funny enough. It can avoid like a lot of like the removal cards, like Sturmlance.
Yep.
Because Sturmlance is like 4 cost 4 less, so you're forcing them to destroy a Nessus as well. And it's not even worth it because like the minimum cost necessary to destroy cost 3.
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. That's cringe.
Yeah, so like yeah, it's just like it's basically, what do we call it? A lightning rod.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's a good lightning rod because
Yes.
it searches. It still gives you buff. But like obviously that's the reason why it's a lightning rod, because it's good enough that your opponent has to do something about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
But even if you lose it, you already gain something from it anyway.
Exactly. Like especially with how relatively tough it is to remove it. And then like obviously don't even mention about like against white, because like if they pass it to hand, yippee, more rumble. You know, just like
exactly. And like resummoning for blue, like trivial because you play with Nexus anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that as well. So like yeah, I definitely think it's like at least a low 8 here.
Yeah. I feel like I mean like again like because it's more specific, I think like it's below Whirlpool, but like Wheelca, but like I feel like it deserves that. And also we don't have to break this beautiful like assortment of like the white extra as well, the yellow extra. So like that's another plus.
Normal.
Okay, so we have Crow, which 7 cost for blue reduction. When summon, you choose 2 of your blue nexus, and you put 1 card from the void to each of them.
I don't know. Like I would argue that by the point you can summon it, do you really need more calls?
Exactly. I feel like Dunpillion, like ironically, I think like DeepBlow is stronger than this. Because like even if you wanted to make it a mid shield, like if it has like true release, I feel like it can still be a mid shield at 11k. Although you can argue as well that at 7, I guess if you want to make it a mid shield, you boost 2, so you only need another core. So like I guess that can still work. But yeah, then again,
I mean, I suppose like the good thing is that like it is a generic card. Like you can use it in any blue decks, and it's just one of those things where if you need the cost, you have it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like now that I look at it, like arguably it might be something I want to put in Feral Beast,
Mm-mm.
just because of like how high cost the deck actually needs to.
Mm-mm.
So like it might not be the worst.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
but like it's like this card is really hard to say,
Yeah.
honestly.
Because like yeah, again, like yeah, only if yeah, again, if we argue that you will always have like two nexus, because like again, like playing break law for the nexus destruction is a little bit iffy right now, because like you kind of wanted the PP plus more than you want the nexus destruction for most of the time.
Well, I think it
Mm,
depends on which necessary put it down as well. Like, is it
yeah.
really worth for them to use that one call?
Mm-mm.
I mean, obviously they can use it in main step too, but there's like,
Mm-mm.
yeah, as you said, they might want to save it for the plus 2,000, then
Mm-mm.
actually just trying to destroy a Nessus.
Yeah.
It depends on how early game it is, definitely. Like, if you already set up as blue, then it doesn't really matter if they destroy one or two Nessuses.
Mm-mm. So I guess then
Yeah.
yeah, then I guess it is kind of decent just by the virtue of it as having like 11k on level 2, although it's can. I thought like at first it will be like a little bit harder to achieve, but after I said that myself, like you can 2 cores and then you can put it on Crow, and then like you only need one more core to make it level 2. Then I guess like you don't even have to do it as a mid shield. Like if your opponent has only one life left, you can kind of like pressure and take down one of their spirits most of the time. Unless you're playing
Yeah,
against white, so yeah, I guess that still
yeah,
has value in a
exactly.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, there are definitely some value in it.
Mm-mm.
Like, what's the family? It's Science Tree
Mm-mm.
and I can't remember how we translate that.
Mm-mm.
It's like circle basically
But yeah,
means.
it's basically not a Pharaoh piece.
It's that it's basically not a feral beast, which
Mm-mm.
is like I think it's actually fine because
Mm-mm.
right now, yeah, obviously the buffs go to feral beast, but in
Mm-mm.
terms of like deck search, there's nothing that focused on feral beast,
Mm-mm.
not spirit anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. You put this in there.
Yeah.
You probably want the cause anyway, so
Mm-mm.
it's not the worst card. I mean, even in Rumble there, you probably want the cause anyway.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Not the
So
worst like
like
that.
the more we look at it, it's honestly not a bad
Yeah.
card.
I feel like yeah, again like if you pay 3 costs, you gain 2 cores, like not a bad trade off. Maybe not a 3 off, but like still like yeah, I mean like 1 off, 2 off, still like not a bad thing. Just as a mid shield again. Like if you just put on level 1, you put the core somewhere else, that's still a 7k. Kinda have to use Flame Hurricane on it. I don't know if your opponent wanted to, if it's valuable enough as a lightning rod, but like still like 7k, yeah, you kinda have to use it is actually like kinda hard to remove anyway. So like
Yeah,
yeah, so I guess like yeah, top of C, I guess.
maybe.
Or
Yeah, I would say C.
C.
It's definitely not a card that is needed,
Mm-mm.
but it's playable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's versatilely
Mm-mm.
playable as
Yeah.
well.
Or will you
So
argue it's
like,
actually
yeah.
like better in Mermaidia in a way? Now that I think about it, like,
Ah,
do we put like
true.
Mermaidia on C and like put like this guy on bottom of B
Yeah,
actually?
yeah, that might be the way,
Oh no,
unfortunately.
Mermaidia Princess, I failed you. Oh my god. I started this whole tier list with like this guy's like definitely going to D, and then like no, this guy's like yeah, this guy ended up like being like pretty high on the list actually. Damn. Yeah, and then like last one is something something that we also have talked about in the last episode. So Nepbalander, it's like an 8 cost, 5 blue reduction. It has legacy, of course, to support that. It has rumbling 7. As we have talked about last week. So basically, at the end of the battle, send 7 cards from the top of the opposing deck. And then if there is any spirit that blocks and dies, for each of cost of the blocker, the number of cards discarded is -1. But once per turn, during your attack step, if the rumbling of your other spirits discards a spirit card. Oh no, it's an SPI. Spirit Igai no Chipon.
No,
It's just
if we
discards, yes.
destroy and yeah, if discard any card, yeah.
Yeah, basically if you activate the rumbling of other spirits, then it can refresh as well. Like definitely not something that is guaranteed, but like the reward is actually kind of worth it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good wall as well,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. So
So it's like
and a simple brute force. It also has a true release. It's at 11k on level 2 for an 8 cost. Not too shabby, I feel.
yeah, like the fact that you can refresh yourself is already pretty good as well.
Mm-mm.
Especially since it just needs the soul core, since it got whatever you call it, true release.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a bad card.
Yeah. I think it's
But then
kind
like
of
it's
like
one of it's one of those things like it's one of those arguments where do you actually need it in the Rumble deck? I mean, as you probably still like it's, at least among the choices you have right now for high cost Rumble, like obviously you kind of want to put this one over the other ones. So it's like, it's definitely like at most a 2 off. So like, it's a card that's very much needed in the deck.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I suppose if I wanted to be a little bit subjective about it, I feel like so far, I think like, yeah, unironically probably like other than Mermaidia Princess, the art for this guy is also my favorite because it just feels,
yeah,
it
big
does
Beetle
make
story.
it looks like very gigantic, very threatening. So I really like it as well. Yeah, I feel like this is a B tier material, at least. I feel like maybe.
Yeah, it's more of the case like we don't know where Rumble is in the meta right now.
So I feel like
It's just like, yeah,
it's definitely better than than Restiel. I feel because like I mean like if you just summon it like on its own, then at least it can do the Rumbling 7. That's 11, so like 11,000 BP, so it will take out one spirit and it will most likely take down one spirit and at least like let's say if they block with the cost 7, then yeah, you take at least down 3 cards as well while you're at it. Yeah, not too shabby. I feel like against Valdigeyer, maybe they are kind of on the same spot. I feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably around the same spot. Yeah,
Yeah. But because I'm biased, I'm going to put it above Valdigeyer.
somehow.
Yep. Okay, so I guess we have everything in the tier list right now. So now we just have to push one card to the S tier. I feel like B tier is a little bit crowded, but it's a fair bet. I feel.
I think we're gonna push at least one card from the A tier to S.
Yeah. Feel like just use the waifu buff. Let's make it quick. let's
No,
not pretend that our list is fully impartial. Like you can see like up to this point you cannot really pretend that our list is fully impartial. So let's use that partiality to push the waifu card to the top.
To be fair, the way I would say is like anything that's not that's versatility isn't limited by archetypes can be in S tier. So instead of Queen, it's actually going to be a Canaria, and then whatever that mineroid is in S tier.
You know what? For the sake of fairness, I'm going to do that. Okay, I feel like okay then just judging between these two, the Gigantocheires versus Carnelian.
I think Canarian's better. I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe?
Fair, yeah. Yep. Because like I mean like I feel like I saw Gigantocheires previously, and yeah, it's kinda I mean like both of them kinda depends on the opposing board, but like I feel like Carnelian in a way does a better job in like making sure you can put one attack through because you can either remove 2 blocker or like 1 big blocker, in which like with Gigantocheires, like if your opponent only has spirits, then you basically only have the option of like removing 1 big spirit. So like I guess like then because you have the option to kind of like spread the destruction, then I guess like Carnelian's slightly better. Then again, yeah, Gigantocheires can activate it every time it attacks. So like you can also argue that if they both survive on the board, then Gigantocheires actually give you like more value.
Yeah.
So
And then also like because like and then because like Canarius is it's only like simply BP based destruction, which can be easily replaced by other kinds of BP destruction. And then also can get power craft, whereas with a
Gigantocheires,
Gigantocheires, you don't like, obviously, like, because it's based on it's like part of its effects are based on BP, so you can still argue against power craft, but then like the fact that it can still bounce and access to hand only makes it a slightly longer use than Canarius.
I see. Yep. Then I guess I don't disagree with that. We have our S tiers.
Yippee!
Yeah, so that is our list so far. Again, this is from our opinion so far during the first 3 days of BS01, by the way, as of recording this podcast. So yeah, it might change in the future, but this is our current opinion about the card so far. So if you do have other opinions, again, feel free to fight us in the comments or send us your whole essay, send us your whole arguments on why this tier list is garbage, and we probably should have quit playing Battle Spirits so that we can move on with our lives. Exactly. But yeah, basically, yeah, you can see a pattern here. If they are like very versatile, it's going to on S tier for now. If they are like very good for their archetype and they can kind of like stand on their own, they will be on A tier. If they are very good for their archetype but they kind of need other cards, then it's going to be on B tier. If they are like very good but they are kind of got thrown back by their decks, and yeah, it is going to be on C tier. And D is for Dunpillion, Duke Dunpillion.
It's specific for Duke.
Yeah, D tier is just Duke tier. Like next set, if we have any
Duke,
if we have any Duke, we don't care if it's got instant D tier because it's for the Dukes.
D for Duke.
D for Dukes. But yeah, it is a very it is very fun. Finally, we are doing the tier list. We have been trying to do the tier list for anything so far, but like we finally do one for like this the extras in BS01. So yeah, finally. And also, usually before like the releases, we do like a very long talk about like the cards in the set. Now we can kind of focus on the extras, but like even when we focus on the extras, like we do have a lot, and some of them we do have like lots of opinions about them, so we can't really skip them. And like yeah, it becomes kind of long, but like yeah, we used to like our friendship started because we do like 9 hours streams on talking about what every single card in a Diva booster can do. So yeah, this is just our usual Sunday basically.
Yeah.
Basically triggering the PTSD for Ayumu. Like even though he told me like, yep, we needed to finish as soon as possible. It was like, yep, we will live the trauma once again. But yeah, as usual, if you really like this concept, if you want more of them, or if you want other stuff, feel free as always to send your comments, requests, or messages. Your comments. Oh my god, I froze for a bit. Yeah, comments, requests, messages to our email at therefreshsteppodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're listening to this on YouTube, do feel free to comment down below. So yeah, I say that we wanted to do by waifu buff and all, but like the waifu buff like barely did anything to move anything in this tier list in the end. Like it
I'm
almost
keeping
brought Queen Babianaros to victory, but like yeah, I can't fight against logic.
that.
Also like an Indian like the best girls are like like the masters and stuff. So like yeah. Now that you say that, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, I guess that has been everything that we can share for this week. We hope that you guys have a nice week going forward, and we'll see you all in the next stream. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, time to rebuild my topaz deck now. My non-existent topaz deck.